Yeah, bro.
We've come far.
Yeah, bro.
We've come far.
Anyway,
the
so
90s jam is a good place
yes.
to reminisce and bring back those nostalgic days of the 90s. My goodness, hip hop was such a movement, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was, and that hip hop movement in the United States transitioned into the hip life movement in Ghana. And the likes of Reggie, Achame, Obrafo, Silova, Mensa, Hammer,
Aketechi,
the great Hammer, the great what do you call it? Okrikumante, the Morrises, Zap Mallets, yes, the
My
big
word.
Zap, and Apetus, Roro, RC, JQ, JQ,
and then later Kewa, Bomi Kewa.
and then the Richies, and we got the what's his name, the R2B's producer, Q Beats, Joseph
Beats.
Addison,
Yes.
and then there was this guy, the other Joseph, Quick Action. Yes. We've
had some great music.
now we used to your plan B, plan A, minko fi na minko train, plan B, and now say me drew fear me mama bang poppy, and then we had Reggie Rockstone, we had Lord Kenya, Obrafo, Okra Tom David, Motia.
Let's not forget the duos as well, the rap duos.
Yes.
Aketechi,
Wuta,
yes.
FBS came along.
Do you remember Nkase?
I can never forget Nkase. They have a song with VIP which is about one of my favorite. That song, but I can play it on radio. VIP 4x4.
Oh goodness!
Najwa Yeme contest and number one. If you Yeme contest, Charlie. So hip hop in the States, sometimes you sit back and you analyze and you think that we were consuming a lot of foreign content then, but our sharp young men and women turned it around and made it a cultural thing in Ghana, which also gave us an identity. And it resulted in a lot of jobs being created. Remember when Obo was musical president, they did some research in the music space and the economy, and a lot of jobs have been created since those days. So hip life metamorphosed into different things. We got GH pop, we got crank music, we got all sorts of things, Afro pop and all, and it's great. So Charlie, Friday 90s jam, come make we jam. Yes, come make we jam. And it's happening at Jolu, the pleasant place. Jolu, close to Unimac GIG. Just put in pleasant place in Google Maps, it will bring you there.
Who was your favorite producer from the 90s?
My favorite producer from the 90s. Ghana music. Me, I think my favorite producer of all time would be JQ.
Yeah.
Jeff Quaid. My favorite producer is JQ. He's produced a lot of songs, and there was a lot of uniqueness to his productions. He did songs for VIP, Book Bag. Almost everyone went to JQ,
and he likes the Jama horns.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'll tell you my favorite. My favorite producer from the 90s. It's got to be Hammer. Hammer of the last two.
Yeah.
His music is like, it sounds like a movie, like drama. Obrafo's Chunhwe.
At the time he used to produce scores for the Nigerian movies and
I'm not surprised.
The movies, yeah.
I'm not surprised. He thinks cinematically. So his music has that sort of dramatic range to it, right? And then the drums, boom, 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 boom. Come on, like Hammer's music, like sometimes his beat is infinitely better than the artist's rap. It's like he beats the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, most of us listen to songs and fall in love with songs because of the lyrics. As for a Hammer song, you fall in love because of the beat.
We'll give you some Hammer JQ's, Mallet Aputus, rural music as we go along today on the show.
We have to drop Chungwe if we're going to celebrate Hammer. We have to drop Chungwe.
Yes, we'll do that.
Which is my favorite beat of his. But there's more to come on the
Yes, there's more to come, and we are analyzing President Mahama's first year as president here on the show. We'll be looking at how well he's done as the president of the Republic of Ghana in the first year of his presidency. And we'll also be happy to hear from you. We want to look at the data. What did he say he would do? What has he been able to do? What is he yet to do? Okay, what are some of the high points? What are some of the low points? We'll be looking at all that. And we are doing this just so he, being the chief servant for the Republic of Ghana, we all understand that he has a responsibility to deliver to us. So if there are any shortfalls, we would demand that those shortfalls are fixed as we go forward into 2026. That's the only way we can get the right growth we are looking for. And it's interesting, we've been looking at the inflation trends, right? For example, Kojo was president in 2021. He became president on 7th January 2021. When he took over, inflation was 40.5%.
You mean 2001?
Inflation was 40.5%, right? At the end of 2001, it was 21.3%. So that is Kojo, right? In 2009, when Mills became president, inflation was at 18.1%. That's how Kojo left it. Right now, in 2007 it was 12.7, and it increased to 18.1 in 2008 before Kojo left. Mills brought it to 16% in his first year. Right. Then comes John Mahama in 2017. In 2013, right? When John came into office, inflation was at 8.8%. By the end of 2013, it was 13.5%. Right, he ended his tenure at 15.4%. At a point, it was at 17.7%, and it ended at 15.4% in 2016. Then Akufo-Addo brings it to 11.8% in 2017, goes all the way down to 7.9% in 2019, and Akufo-Addo left us in 2024 at 23.2%. Now it's around 6 point something percent, right? So we'll be looking at some of the data, and then we'll be looking at the promises, the measurable, the tangibles, the intangibles, all those we'll be looking at here on the show. But it's also about you. It's about your experience under President Mahama, under JM2. Share with us 055-1111-997. We'll be happy to hear from you here on the show.
We'll be bringing you lots and lots of your views and opinions on this one. This one is your assessment of the president.
Yes. And we'll be looking at the socio-economic, we'll be looking at infrastructure, we'll be looking at even security, education, and the promises, what he said he would do and what he's actually been able to do. I'll be looking at all those here on the Super Morning Show. But whilst we are talking about a single-digit inflation, Total is also giving you a single-digit discount. Yes, and in these times, any form of discount is good. Now, if you go to, today is the last day for you to actually take advantage of the December sweet deal from Total Energies. They are giving you 5% off all lubricants. So you go to any Total outlet, you get 5% off all lubricants. By midnight today, dear, if you've not taken advantage, you'd have lost out. So go to any Total outlets, change your lubricants, let your vehicle thank you, and let it give you the Yankson experience. Don't miss out on this. Visit Total Energies today. Total Energies, committed to better energy.
Now, thanks to the Glyco Life app, managing your life insurance policy is as simple as accessing your socials. It's so simple. You can track your policy, you can make payments, you can submit claims, and even download documents just on your phone, okay? And you can do this anytime, anywhere. No queues, no paperwork, no stress. Just tap, scroll, and you're sorted. Now download the Glyco Life app from the Google Play Store or the App Store today. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
So what are the fully delivered promises of John Mahama? What are the partially delivered promises? And what are the promises he's not yet delivered? We'll share those with you soon on the show. But you know, the holiday spirit is still here. We are not done. The holiday, we are enjoying it till next week. Okay. Now you enjoy up to 20% discount when you pay with your Fidelity Bank card at your favorite spots. So at Electroland, at Faith Thai Massage, Mahmoud Jewelry, Papa's Pizza, Sushimes, and many more exciting partner locations nationwide, including the capital. So whether you are shopping for gifts, dining out, pampering yourself, or upgrading your home, your Fidelity card brings you more cheer for less this season. Spend smart, save big, celebrate more. Terms and conditions apply. And you know, Electroland is running a big Achedia promo. So if you go to Electroland and you get it cheap, and you top it up with the Fidelity 20% discount when you shop with a card, she said, with the lotto, too sure, too direct.
All right, well, listen, we're opening up the year with a bang at Oak Plaza Hotel. I keep telling you, it's the best kept secret in Accra. This hotel is gorgeous, and their food, oh my goodness. So listen, open up the year with the big all-day breakfast. It's tomorrow, 1st of January 2026. Go and enjoy the all-day breakfast, sumptuous food all day long from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. It's just 450 cedis if you're an adult, and 250 if you're a child. Okay, and then of course you can wrap things up for the season with the festive finale, which is on the 4th. Okay, that's Sunday. It's a big Sunday buffet, all the meals you could possibly imagine, deliciously made, and it's 600 for adults and 350 for kids. Go and gorge on some gorgeous food thanks to Oak Plaza Hotel, redefining standards.
And the SG Ghana Visa Festive Cashback promo is still running. It's running till the end of January 2026. Okay, so use your SG Ghana Visa card for all your transactions. Make at least 5 transactions totaling not less than 2,000 Ghana cedis, and stand the chance of winning your share of 120,000 Ghana cedis in the grand draw. The more transactions you make, the better your chances of winning. Spend with confidence this festive season, and January might just reward you. SG Ghana Visa Festive Cashback promo. Spend now, smile later. And if you need more information, call 0302-214-314. But remember that terms and conditions apply. And this promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
All right, so as you travel to crossover, passover, handover, jump over, roll over, sleepover, please make sure that you don't put the wrong fuel in your car. Okay, just be vigilant and attentive, and save yourself a whole lot of stress. Protect your engine and your plans. All right, make sure that you confirm the right fuel type at the filling station before they fill. And that is a message from Comac.
And Toyota Ghana Limited is resuming full operations on the 7th of January 2026. So all those waiting for Toyota to resume operations, they are resuming on the 7th of January 2026 after the Christmas break. They are on break now, and management want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And as loyal partners, we remain committed to serving you better in the coming year. Drive smart, save smart. Choose Toyota Ghana Limited. Call Toyota today on 0302-241-239 for further information. Ghana drives Toyota.
One thing about kids, they know what they want. So if you want to know what your kids want, ask them. In fact, they will tell you they want to go to Safari, go back.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That's what the kids want. They want to go there. So listen, let it happen this weekend. We're on holiday. We're enjoying some time off work. Friday, take them. Take them. You will not regret it. It is such an experience, right? 3 eco parks or eco parks linked together. The first park 1 has all the birds. Park 2 has the exotic animals. So I'm talking zebra, wildebeest, antelopes, and they'll come up to you. You can feed them. It's amazing, right? And then of course Park 3 is the amusement park where they have all the fun and games, and the furry animals, the cute ones, the meerkats and all of that. Listen, take the kids there. Show them the time of their lives. They'll remember you for it. They'll thank you for it, and they'll remember it for the rest of their lives. Here's the number to call to make it happen: 059 691 4394. You can also try 059 691 4384. I look forward to seeing you there.
Yes, and on your way to chilling this Christmas season, you always have to fill up. Okay, you always have to fill up. Not even on your way to chilling. If you're home, you still need to eat, and KFC is giving you the festive bucket at KFC for only 249 Ghana cedis. Renam Riakoko from KFC. Festive buckets at only 249 Ghana cedis. You can just enjoy the biggest pieces of chicken for yourself, and you can also share with your boys and your family at home. Enjoy chicken the right way from KFC this season. So whether you're staying home or going home, KFC wins in any room. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Imagine going into 2026 with the wrong water tank. Imagine not having a Syntex tank and crossing over into 2026 without a Syntex tank. I mean, just imagine that. Minus you in Jesus' name. So what I suggest to you is that you join the Syntex Tank family in 2026. It's very easy. And of course, Syntex Tank is the tank with the tortoise on it. Okay, champion of water tanks. Rain or shine, they've got your back. Protect your water and keep you safe. Listen, here's how you become a member of the family. Call 0244 335 168, or you can go and find one of their 400 agents across the country. You can also shop online. That's easy. syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank. A year strong, a year tough.
California.
Why
the
city?
To baby now, to baby.
Your friend said, Harmony.
90s jam birthday.
I'm thinking of wearing some car wash. Do you remember car wash?
I don't know what. I'm Charlie Mininis out.
I don't know car wash. Car wash.
Minim car wash. Adam your detergent.
Dungarees. You see,
Minim car.
Unim dungarees. Unim car wash. Oh, bro, I'm bantam. I'm for t-shirts. No one car wash negusu. No much. They pull one leg up to the knee, and they wear Timberlands.
Minim car wash.
Funky.
And I won't wear that tonight. Is that? Maybe koto wig ashe.
Oh, wigs.
For my big head.
Oh, why?
Anyways, raining deals at Bank of Africa, 10% interest rate, no collateral, and up to 5 months net salary. Yes, Bank of Africa is giving you all this. So visit any Bank of Africa branch near you today to sign up for the quick fixed loan and enjoy this amazing deal. Call them on 0302 429 333 and 0302 249 690, or chat with Fafa at boaghana.com for more information. T's and C's apply. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group,
as close as a partner. And listen, kingdomstoreonline.com is waiting to show you the best quality office essentials, equipment, furniture, and stationery, all from Kingdom Books. Great stuff that you can use while you are arranging your office for maximum productivity in 2026. All right, so you can shop online, pay via Momo across all networks, and they'll deliver all your shopping to your home or office in very good time as well. If you live in Accra or Tema, it's free delivery for you. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Well, we have birthdays coming up. We have the Sports Center also coming up. And this morning, we are talking and reviewing the 2025 performance of President John Dramani Mahama. How has his governance impacted your life? Has it been good for you? Has it been bad? Nothing changed? Surprised? Impressed? Disappointed? 055-1111-997. And we'll be going over his 120-day social contract with us. He signed the social contract. Well, he gave us a social contract. Say and sign it. But he gave us a social contract, and he said he was going to complete that in 120 days. Was he really able to do that in 120 days? And after the 120 days, post that period, what has he been able to add on to what he achieved within that time? And what did he say in his manifesto that he was going to do? What did he say in his budgets that he was going to do? Has he been able to do all that? It's all coming up here on the show. And we are going for a quick break. When we return, your birthday messages, sports, and more. Stay with us.
Hello, this be Kwakesi. Who this?
Frida this, Kwao, make we step out small. Bronya Muda said the carnival for town, they start now.
Yeah, Mr. Desi, see my fiber, they fire off. Download, liquor, do streaming, they go on. Gaming, suit no buffering. If you bring your way, they more fiber.
Oh, Kwao, so you really no go come and pa.
Frida, you pa. Charlie for what? MTN unlimited fiber. Internet day here, make a promote.
This Bronya, put your home on MTN Unlimited Fiber Internet and make the fun day right where you are. Fast speed, pure fiber, truly unlimited. Visit my MTN app to check fiber availability or to subscribe.
MTN.
Jingle bells, discount swell on your Standard Chartered Visa card. This Christmas, the only thing better than the festivities are the non-stop surprises on your Standard Chartered Visa card. The enjoyment card. Shopping for gifts, discounted. Booking flights for your dream family vacation, discounted. Treating yourself at the salon or enjoying a festive feast, all discounted. Did I mention that your Standard Chartered Visa card is accepted in over 1 million destinations across the world? That's not all. Whenever you use your card to make payments, you earn points that you can redeem for exciting rewards. It is the enjoyment card this season, so swipe away and enjoy the best discounts across your favorite stores, restaurants, salons, and travel bookings. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Every family is a team, and every player has a role. Mums and dads, siblings, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and even that one cousin who can't tell a foul from offside, but who always remembers your birthday. Even if you're far away, you can still score for your team. Send them money with Western Union. Cash pickup in minutes. Check it out at westernunion.com.
FPAC is effective for headaches and relieves the symptoms of flu, colds, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pains. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is effective against rheumatic pains. You can find FPAC in all pharmacy and chemical select shops throughout the country. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior follows in the tradition of FPAC tablets, a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away.
And your birthday messages on the Super Morning Show, brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. And Bank of Africa has extended its quick fix loan to the end of December. That is today. Okay, so call them now and sign up. And Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. And we have some messages here. This one says, happy 50th birthday to Veronica Wushu of School of Engineering Services, University of Ghana. God bless you. And happy birthday going to Helena Ofori Boache, formerly the Chief Revenue Officer of GRA, from your grandchildren, Ivan, Duke, Arabella, and the entire family to you. That takes us into the Sports Center, which is brought to you by MTN. Switch to MTN's eSIM. Download my MTN app today. And Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. FPAC blows your pain away. And DSTV, your home of entertainment. Twisco, power your dream. And Western Union, send and receive money around the world. And if you want to get an MTN eSIM, all you need to do is to download my MTN app. No queues, no waiting, no tickets. You just sit on your couch, your office, or even your bed. Open the MTN app, follow the steps, and boom, you'll be live. It's the ultimate life hack. So grab your phone, download the My MTN app today if you haven't already, and skip the queue.
Listen, stay tuned to the Sports Center for all the analysis, the team news, and the all-round updates from AFCON 2025. 2025? 2026? 2025? 2025.
Yeah, but it goes into 2026.
Okay, AFCON 2025, and it's powered by Western Union.
Yes, and this festive season, enjoy endless perks, and with your Standard Chartered Visa card, the enjoyment card. Okay, book your trips, make reservations, and handle all your holiday shopping with special discounts from Standard Chartered. It's the enjoyment card, and you earn points that can be redeemed for exciting rewards when you use your Standard Chartered Visa card. The best part is that your Visa card is accepted in over 1 million destinations across the world. So celebrate and enjoy this Christmas one swipe at a time with the enjoyment card from Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered, here for good. Actually,
Kojo, I'm here for the Joy Sports Center, and coming up, we've got big things for you, starting from the AFCON.
Congo 4, Botswana 0. Mane drawing us back. Senegal. Goal for Diallo.
Meanwhile, in the Premier League,
that's not ideal from Xerxes, and it's in! Wolves are level! It's been coming! Ladislav Krejci thunders the header home!
Manchester United stumble at home to statistically the worst Premier League team in the final game of 2025. Details of that and more to come, but let's start with Inside AFCON, proudly brought to you by Western Union. Yesterday, Senegal won Group D on goal difference as the 10-man Teranga Lions endured a tense finale to their win over Benin at the African Cup of Nations in Tangier, where the 2021 champions leading by a goal to 0 and group rivals DR Congo beaten Botswana 3-0. Top spots in that section was on course to be decided by the drawing of lots before Habib Diallo slotted in his side's second from Sadio Mane's pass in the 62nd minute. That ensured that they moved top by a goal. The Senegal staff and fans were left to nervously hope DR Congo failed to score again until Sheriff Ndiaye converted a 97th minute penalty to definitively settle top spots in that group. The ramifications for those results are that Benin will face Egypt while Senegal remain in Tangier to face Burkina Faso or Sudan on Saturday. Of course, those two teams will be in action later today, and Senegal will find out by close of day today. DR Congo, who beat Botswana by 3-0, also remain in the Moroccan capital, but they will face a tough last 16 match against fellow two-time champions Algeria. That game is happening at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, January 6. Elsewhere, a match-chain Nigeria finished the group stage with a perfect record after 3 games after dispatching already eliminated Uganda by 3-1. The Ugandans were reduced to 10 men and forced to use all 3 goalkeepers in their squad after Dennis Onyango went off injured and his replacement, Jamal Salim, he got sent off for handling the ball outside the box. Here's Nigeria head coach Eric Shell speaking after the game.
I have lots of pressure and I feel good because the town, like I said, is perfect. The hotel is perfect. The atmosphere is perfect. I can say I'm more calm than the last AFCON. So I'll try to stay focused on during the game, on only the game, the group, give a good answer today because the player who didn't start because the tournament today they started, they show something today, so I'm very happy for that.
That was Eric Shell, the head coach of Nigeria, who will remain in Fairs and face the third place team from Group F. That is, or that could be Mozambique, Cameroon, or Ivory Coast. That round of 16 game is scheduled for 7 p.m. on Monday night, January 5th, 2026. Uganda, meanwhile, exit the tournament and extend their winless run at AFCON to 6 matches since 2019. In other games, Tanzania fought back to draw with Tunisia in Group C at the Cup of Nations in a result which sent both sides through to the last 16. The Taifa Stars become the first side to progress to the last 16 at an AFCON with 2 points since the tournament was expanded to a 2024 competition in 2019. Tunisia will now take on Group A runners-up Mali in Casablanca on Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. That game is at 7 p.m. while Tanzania, who have reached the knockout stage for the first time, remain in Rabat. They'll face the host nation, Morocco, the following day at 4 p.m. That's it as far as Inside AFCON is concerned. Inside AFCON was proudly brought to you by Western Union. Now let's get back home and talk about the Ghana Premier League, because the final Premier League game for 2025 will take place in Takwa, where former champions Bediama Sporting Club will be hosting defending champions Bebiani Gold Stars. Yes, Bediama head coach Ibrahim Tanko.
No, I think we have to think our game first, and if we get a point or 3 over there, definitely we'll come and over them. So definitely we have to concentrate and then look at the outcome of the game. We are not thinking about Kotoko. We are thinking about BBN Gold Stars. Both teams won. We won away and they won their game home. And definitely this is going to be another game. I think we always have a good performance at BBN, and I hope that on Wednesday is going to be the same.
One other team that is looking to annex the league title is Accra Hearts-Evoke, but they are currently going through an injury crisis because midfielders Rocky Dramena, Rafael Amponsa and Abdul Karim are all out injured and are not expected to feature when Hearts-Evoke travel to Takwa to take on Mediama SC on Sunday. Yes, Hearts head coach Didi Dramani.
Oh, I think that I hopefully Afrani might be back because he was serving a suspension through a third card, and then we'll be missing maybe George also, which is a big blow. George Parker will be missed, and then we'll see how the week goes on Rafael Aponsa. Kwesi Asma is also out. Hussein, as you are aware, he's serving a 3-match ban, and so it's a depleted department, but nothing to worry about.
Didi Dramani remaining optimistic even though Hearts-Evoke have got injury concerns. But today's game between Mediama and Bebiani Gold Stars kicks off at 3 p.m. in Takwa. Also happening today, an hour after that game, the Cup of Nations games will continue. The final group stage games, in Group E, Equatorial Guinea will host Algeria while Sudan take on Burkina Faso. Both games kick off at 4 p.m. and then later at 7 p.m. in Group F, Gabon take on Ivory Coast. Mozambique will take on Cameroon in those games. So that's the situation there as far as the fixtures are concerned. Now, as for the league table in those respective groups, in Group E, Algeria have already qualified, and so it is between Burkina Faso and Sudan. Burkina Faso have the advantage because they are in second place. Sudan are third place. They could qualify even if they lose today's game, but a draw will ensure automatic qualification to the next round of the competition. In Group F, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon and Mozambique have all to play for. With Cote d'Ivoire already qualifying, at least Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon will qualify at least as one of the best third place teams in the competition. Mozambique, however, need to win today or get a draw to ensure they progress to the next round. Now, yesterday in the Premier League, Arsenal ensured that they would finish 2025 5 points clear at the summit of the Premier League after dispatching Aston Villa by 4-1. Here is Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta speaking after the game.
He believe his energy as well because they put in so much. We play every 2.5 days. The schedule is very, very demanding. We have some very tough matches, injuries, but the players are so willing. So winning helps all that. All the sacrifices, commitment that you put in gets reflected in results and great performances, and that's so satisfying. But we know still so much to play for. It's a great way to end the year, that's for sure. And tomorrow have a good night with our families. But then the next day we are in and we have to go to Bournemouth, and we know what that means.
That was Mikel Arteta, Arsenal manager, speaking there. Elsewhere, Burnley lost to Newcastle United by 3-1. Chelsea drew 2-2 with AFC Bournemouth. That result means Chelsea have won just 2 of their last 9 matches in all competitions. After the game, their manager, Enzo Maresca, failed to show up for the post-match press conference. His assistant, Willie Caballero, had to take questions from the press and said the manager did not miss out on purpose.
He didn't feel well in the last 2 days. It was with a bit of temperature 2 days ago. He done the session in the last two sessions because he wanted to prepare well the team for this game. But after the game, he went to the change room and he asked me to replace him because he didn't feel well. And I don't know, it's the only thing that I can tell you guys.
Yes, Willie Caballero explaining the mysterious disappearance of Enzo Maresca from the post-match conference. Elsewhere, Nottingham Forest lost to Everton by 2-0. West Ham United drew 2-0 with Brighton and Hove Albion. Manchester United, they failed to beat the team that had lost 10 consecutive games in the Premier League. That is Wolverhampton Wanderers, also the team that is bottom of the league. They drew 1-0. Here's Man United manager Ruben Amorim.
If you see the game, I understand why we play the way we play today. The lack of fluidity, lack of 1 against 1. We knew that would be a completely different game compared to Newcastle, because in Newcastle we have more space to play. We didn't have to work the play so much, and today difficulties in that aspect, and that is clear.
Yeah, that's Ruben Amorim speaking there. Before we go though, yesterday, Bournemouth manager Iraola explained, or he clarified, that Antoine Semenyo has not played his last game for AFC Bournemouth. What that means is that he's not going to face Chelsea this weekend when Man City line up versus Chelsea in the Premier League. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Achu, for bringing us the updates on sports. It's coming up to 8. At 8, we bring you the Business Minute here on the Super Morning Show. Remember that the Business Minute is brought to you by Anointed Engineering Services Limited. And this morning, as we've told you already, we are discussing Mohammed's 1 year in office, in the second coming. How well has the president done? Any advice for him? Yes, I think we left that one out. Any advice for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama? I know we all want our presidents to win, because if they win, the country wins. So any advice for him? Have you been impressed by his performance, and are there any points of disappointment? Share with us. But I'd like to say a very good morning to Madam Josephine Arthur. This is from me personally to you. We share a birthday together, and I'm told that I'm your new baby son. So Auntie Josephine, happy birthday to you, belated to you. I'm also a Joseph, so there's a link. God bless you. And also good morning to Mami Ifua Krama, also listening live. If you are on X, the hashtag is JoySMS. Send us your messages. We'll be happy to read your messages. But it's now time for the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Anointed Engineering Services.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Anointed Engineering Services Limited, the generator experts. In a significant boost to the local economy, the Ghana city is ending the year 2025 on its strongest footing in 10 years. The Food and Beverages Association of Ghana is raising concerns over the impending VAT reform set for 2026, warning it could trigger a surge in commodity prices. The association says a proposed 20% VAT rate on selected businesses is likely to translate into an equivalent increase in the prices of goods. Businesses have identified the high cost of production as a key issue the government must address in 2026 to support economic growth. China has proposed strict rules for artificial intelligence to provide safeguards for children and prevent chatbots from offering advice that could lead to self-harm or violence. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Anointed Engineering Services Limited, the generator experts.
See, I beg. Fix me go betete Ghana. No gari, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, bruh, that be dangerous combination, no?
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you the want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Make a choice. Go for it. You need support to achieve. A new verse awaits you. The Republic Verse, where you're treated as uniquely as you are. Succeed, thrive, outshine yourself. This is our verse, the Republic Verse. Join the Republic Verse and big up. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
This festive season, football don't sleep. The action gets even better with more thrills on Betway. Tradition continues in England with its festive fixtures expected to be more exciting. This period is likely to separate the real title contenders from the pretenders. Serie A also gets more competitive with the likes of Napoli, AC Milan and Inter Milan looking to clinch the title this season. Four-time AFCON winners Ghana is absent from the continental tournament in Morocco, but there are still set to be some tasty fixtures in the tournament. Don't forget to check them out on Betway. From early kickoffs to late night clashes, get immersed in the action and earn extra cash through your bet on Betway. Get more rewards with Betway. Log on to betway.com.gh to place your bet. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Betway. Get way more. And a Merry Christmas.
The Kakamotobi come out in the festive season and they are as scary as our bills. But we don't want to miss out on parties, family and festivals. Whether you say Akwaba, Maraba, Wezo or Obake, EcoBank says tap into 5s in the 5-star enjoyment promo. Be one of 10,000 lucky winners when you deposit multiples of 400 Ghana cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis to win up to 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes. 1-year insurance cover, gift vouchers and more. That's not all. Use your EcoBank card, mobile app, USSD or POS to transact and enjoy up to 15% discount. Tap into vibes with EcoBank. T's and C's apply. Bill shouldn't scare you. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
EcoBank will never call or text asking you to verify sensitive information like your PIN, Ghana card or bank card information. Pay better attention to details.
Across the continent, the family meets once again. From Ivory Coast to Tanzania, Nigeria to Angola, everyone's got something to say. Until someone says that maybe it was only Ivory Coast's luck the last time. From 21 December to 18 January, everybody gathers for Africa's biggest football tournament. 24 countries, 52 games. It's the Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025. Join our family meeting live on SuperSport, available on DSTV and GoTV.
Honey, Easter in Dubai will not be bad, crowd. What do you think?
Hey, Dubai pa! But how?
The Activa Sida promo.
Hey!
Activa Insurance is thanking its customers and welcoming new ones. Just buy or renew any Activa Insurance policy and enter into a draw where you can win a fully paid trip to Dubai. Flight, hotel and tours all covered. And if not Dubai, you can still win TVs, fridges, washing machines and many more.
Really?
Yes. Buy your home, motor, fire, travel, personal accident insurance or any Active Lady solution.
Amazing!
Walk into any Activa Insurance branch or agency nationwide or dial *713*313# now. Asida promo is partnered by Travel Planners Ghana, your travel experts, and Malcolm. Promo ends 5th March 2026. T's and C's apply. Active Insurance. Our clients, our passion. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Come on in free come free no cry ya and so was a make na me do for pa and the rate your pay me ya ahudi anitika my friend abusua me bia kan na me nambo so mu no pay bre na wada me tie na o si dan wo bantama odo ni madam fu bia ye kanana maton makoma amobon samankasa Jai, na me ba, and yes, some number na me pesa me can. Yako me ni chemo, minister. We drink one of my boy, na me take ya ba. And some no, me be fear go up, shoot tap on Chenia, or je war. Michiano me menda December 24. We are kete be wadoko. Ne rabai aje na pampem store. Otonje le Kobe and many more. And family who odonti, the same effect. Me de kato kasa sande me kuma mano. A jam penny say you could do a jam. Link Semis me too bad, or the you say automatic or the A better than BB. So a papa if you are on this on your day, then penny to mempene no a sa nema meje me dansa for ko ma bra nipa nyaboa aba nipa nyaboa
Listen, my friend. Talk for me, mommy. Won't stress about having my kind of baby. Listen, my friend. Talk for me, mommy. Won't stress about having my kind of baby.
Tobo, Mammy Soso. There may be bluffo or baby so. Better I ye and it's a minaso. Wouldn't be now one no good. Say war. You tata or why you for floor. And then I sit down. And it's a draw. But more than we drop, but there could be as a dog. Hey, son, what here? What's in the dear? When you meet the set, Katipani Abitia.
Na woni koto ene won saso wochi intime kasa wo se odo mensusu sa odo sa na ato adapa odi ehunemu na ene patapa upem kwan pa kodipa. Good music, man. Good music. Bravo with that song, Choho. Merging high life and rap to make hip life, produced by Hammer. And you know, we have the 90s jam coming, but we also have the Strictly High Life event coming up tomorrow, which is the 1st of January. I'll tell you more about that. In fact, I have my colleague Josh Tigo with me here in the studio. Josh,
Kojo,
Charlie High Life, there.
I mean, your studio is refreshing to be here with you. High Life, dear.
Ede.
Come awesome.
Me dear, Odo Afrakume.
All time favorite High Life artist, yeah,
Ebeding. But between 2013 and 2025, I've been listening to Ejako Nimo back to back.
Okay.
And I've been listening to his production with the National Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
So he re-recorded Nadin Sua, Abrucha, Brabo, Sawmill Song, all those songs with the National Symphony Orchestra.
Massive.
But High Life now, I mean,
High Life is such that you can't have a favorite.
Yes, and on a very good day, if you give me enough food to eat and a very good band, I can start performing Ghanaian High Life from the 1930s.
Really?
All the way to current songs.
Really?
Yes.
How did you do that? We were nowhere.
The Ekropon singing band, Kofi Seidu, all the way to the vis-a-vis bands, to the a lot.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
And one of my favorite High Life songs is Anti-Christy by Ramblers.
Anti-Christy.
Yeah,
it's solid High Life music. Solid High Life music.
Mewe Christine Faunsa Betimikomo Nawe
and you know 2026 will be exactly 100 years of High Life music in
100
Ghana.
years of High Life music in Ghana.
100 years of High Life music.
We're going to talk about that later on the show, but remember that Business Minute is brought to you by Anointed Electricals, and Anointed Engineering Services is into sales of ultra silent fuel efficient diesel generating sets. The sizes range from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA at very, very competitive prices. So if you want a generator, talk to Anointed today. Call them on 024 348 0334 024 642 3534. Find their head office at number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway near the Odoko traffic lights. They also have 21 branches nationwide. Okay, and if you want to learn a skill, I'd recommend Anointed Engineering Services to you. Go and learn generator and plants management, auto mechanics, electricals, controls, solar installations, and a whole lot more. They offer 80% hands-on training and 20% theory. So if you're a parent and your child has finished junior high school, senior high school, even if they are in school, vacations, they can go to Anointed to learn a skill. Okay, so do that today. Their head office again is at number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway. And GT Bank has great news for you. They are moving closer to you and opening doors to even better banking experiences. They've opened 2 new branches to serve you better in the Upper East region and another one in the Greater Accra region. And these new branches reflect GT Bank's strong commitment to bringing exceptional banking services closer to you wherever you are. Customers can now enjoy world-class banking at the new GT Bank Bolgatanga branch located at plot number 150 Central Residential Area. It's directly opposite the main lorry station. And there's a new one at Teshi. Yes, here in the Greater Accra region. GPS code GZ03409 0008. It's between the Teshi Mobile and the post office stretch. Okay, so you are getting access to faster service, more convenience, and the same excellent customer experience you know and trust. From account opening to loans to digital banking support and everyday transactions, GT Bank is ready to serve you with speed, simplicity, and a smile. So Bolga, Teshi, and beyond, walk into any GT Bank branch today and feel the difference. Guarantee Trust Bank, proudly African, truly international. And Charlie, the High Life event, strictly High Life. So it means that we are chilling tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we are chilling on Friday.
It's non-stop chilling.
And one of my friends in High Life is also Amanziba. In fact, I've done a lot of shows with Amanziba.
I'm a fan of Amanziba.
And Samuel Owusu.
Yeah. Samuel is
my Ekrapim brother, known to be a Ga musician, Adani Best.
Adani Best.
Yes. Pat Thomas.
Yeah. Those are the guys.
Charlie. And we are going to enjoy all those.
Yeah, all those guys. I mean, we are going to. So this creation is actually not just about artists.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing everything High Life.
We are doing everything
so
High
there's
Life.
A jam, there's live band, there are performances.
Hold on to your thoughts there. Our big stories today are brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies, Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa, and Equity Health Insurance here for you. And we want to know from you, has Mahama delivered in his first year of his second coming? Any advice for the president? What do you think he's done exceptionally well? What do you think he's failed in? 055-11-11997. We actually hit the streets and engaged some fellow Ghanaians on their feedback for the president on his first day. I'll be sharing that with you shortly. But the Telecel family is giving you good news. They've got something special for you this and every Wednesday, meaning today. You get 25% bonus data absolutely free when you buy your first data bundle. That's more browsing, more streaming, more chatting, and all the things you love without spending extra. So download or open the Telecel app this Wednesday, buy your data, and get your 25% bonus on your first purchase. Telecel is keeping you connected and giving you more value every day. Telecel, connecting energies. And Charlie, listen, if you did drive, this one is for you, okay? Trusted for 102 years, Enterprise Insurance has just dropped the Insure Not Chili promo. Yes, the route to the ultimate football experience. When you insure your car with Enterprise, you don't just get protection, you get extra rewards. Enjoy free fuel coupons, airtime, shopping vouchers, and stand a chance to win an all expense paid ultimate football experience live at the stadium. Okay, insure your car now with Enterprise Insurance and be part of the Insure Not Chili promo. The promo is running from now till May 2026, regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform, and terms and conditions apply. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage. Now, Access is also rewarding you big time in their loyalty program called Rewards by Access. Every transaction you make with your Access card brings you closer to exclusive benefits, premium privileges, and personalized rewards, all tailored to suit your lifestyle. And you can redeem your rewards seamlessly at any Access merchant partner nationwide. Okay, so if you're a frequent flyer, a regular shopper, or you are managing your daily family, personal, or business needs, Rewards by Access ensures you get more from every spend. Use your Access card today and enjoy a rewarding banking experience only with Access Bank. Go to loyaltyrewards.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call toll free 0800 004400 for more details. Access Bank, more than banking. So what are fellow Ghanaians telling us about Mahama's first year in government? Let's listen to what some of our friends are telling us.
Okay, I'll give him a C because things have not really changed the way we expected. There's a little change, but we are hoping for the best next year. But for the betters, we are okay because no more betting tax.
Oh, you're fine. Can't marry to a president. He had A in a sense, okay. What is blowing who can't take about? Catch a Christmas time, Anna Ambo, Anna Sabola. Even okro you can't buy, it's very expensive. But during this era of Mahama, we are buying everything at a cheaper price, and it's available too. Last year it wasn't available, and it's very expensive too. So I'll rate our president. I'll give him A, or even A+. He has done well. So we ask that he should keep on doing more.
I think I will rate him. I'll give him B. Yeah, B. Why? Because looking at the dollar stabilization, like everything is okay. The dollar rate is stable. Now the cost of living is now okay, and people are buying. Yeah. And a lot of people are in town. They are saying, "Oh, everything is okay now." The dollar rate is stable. People also should reduce their prices so that a lot of people can buy. But it looks like people are still holding on to their prices, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay for now. Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm to rate the current government's performance between A to F, A being excellent and F being a fail, I think I would give them a B+, because looking at the economy now, it's gradually improving and the country is moving into the right direction, and I'm sure with time the country will be a better place to be. I mean, they are really doing a good job. Previously things were really hard, but I think this time around we are in the right direction. So yeah, a B+ should do. Thank you.
From A to F, I'll rate him C, because what I've seen is that most of the projects that were left behind before he came, he didn't really abandon them all. He has started working on them and introducing new things, and it's making life easier for us for now. So I'll rate him C. It's manageable for now compared to when we came out of COVID. It was really terrible. So now I've realized businesses are beginning to pick.
So some people are giving President Mahama C, others are giving him B+, others are giving him B. How do you rate the president? It's been a year. He took over office on the 7th of January 2025. Today is 31st December 2025. How would you rate him? Has he done well? Has he been excellent? Has he been very good, fair, pass, or poor? Let us, or fail. So after poor there is fail, eh? Or poor and fail are the same. Let us know, please. Send us a message, and remember that your messages are brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, number 10 liver salt, a refreshing relief. And EcoBank's 5-star enjoyment promo is still running. You deposit in multiples of 400 cedis, or you take a loan in multiples of 4,000 cedis to build points and enter a draw for a chance to win your share of 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes, including a 1-year insurance cover, gift vouchers, and multiples of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Now, EcoBank will never ask you for your PIN or your password. So when in doubt, call 0800 003225, and note that all you need to do is to simply deposit in multiples of 400 cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis. This promo runs till 31st January 2026. Is the EcoBank 5-star enjoyment promo. Deposit more, enjoy more. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank, and the KFC festive bucket is still going for only 249 Ghana cedis. So whether you're staying home or going home, KFC is winning in any room, and they're ensuring that your stomach also wins this season, and it's finger licking good. So go to any KFC and get the festive buckets. Now, Stanbic Bank is giving you more rewards, okay? The Stanbic digital banking app, you can buy event tickets, handle your transfers, your bills and payments in seconds, anytime, anywhere, okay? So if you want to spend time with the family, if you want to share some laughter, create memories that last, let Stanbic Bank help you focus on all that, okay? without worrying about going out to buy something. Just stay home and do everything seamlessly on the Stanbic Bank digital banking app. This Christmas, share the joy of love with the Stanbic digital banking app. Stanbic Bank Ghana, no queues, no stress, just love. Have yourselves a Stanbic Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This message says that President Muhammad's second coming was just God's intervention to take his people to the promised land. Inflation down, exchange rates down, big push working. We pray 2026 shall be a year of jobs for the youth. Aban Papa Abba, and it's from Hebetete Anyanume in Somenya. And this message says, good morning, Joy SMS. For me, I'm disappointed in JDM's handling of the Galamsey menace, matching his position on Galamsey in opposition, and what is happening under him as a president leaves so much to be desired. This is my disappointment because it is a matter that is at the core of our very existence, and this is ZDN in Tema. And this message says, great and blessed morning. Trust you are really enjoying the blessings of the season, Afishapa. Please kindly inform the president that he should turn the cathedral grounds into a new children's hospital in Africa. That one at Accra is not enough. The Saint Marie Hospital. And good morning again. Please, the children's hospital should be ultramodern with special leukemia center. Thank you. And this one is from Elizabeth. Those are some of your initial thoughts on the president. 055-11-11997. We'll take some more of your thoughts here on the Super Morning Show. But it's time to talk about Strictly High Life. Josh is still with me in the studio. Charlie Obete, give us one song. Make Josh dance more before we talk.
Money I hit our money I hit our no come here bamie no come here bamie Boateng Joy 99.7 no come here bamie no come here bamie Boateng no come here bamie no come here bamie Boateng no come here bamie no come here bamie Boateng Georgie Pania Boateng
Coffee in your cup. Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best band. On Joy 99.7 FM.
Charlie Samousu.
Debbie.
Yes, and he has the song Go to One I will share. And then Akoko na punching crack. Charlie Josh.
You know the lines.
Yeah, Charlie. Me high life dear.
You know
high life dear.
Yeah, high life is yeah, exactly. You know what marketing people do? Marketing people like to segment. But I think that when it comes to high life, you can't really do any proper segmentation.
No, you can't. You can't. You just have to enjoy everything. You have to enjoy. Look, so you are playing, say, Danny Best.
Yeah.
And you play some Owusu.
Yeah.
You can't skip.
Yeah.
You play Amanziba. You won't skip. You go to Rex Jemfi.
Yeah.
Oh say yeah. Oh say yeah. You will go to someone else. And when you get into the contemporary space,
yeah, exactly.
Kobna,
and
Ofrian Ponsa and Kufin
and the likes of Kufin T.
Yeah,
exactly.
You just can't resist.
Yeah. High life is the soul of Ghana's musical artistry. Yeah. You can't really, I mean, and that is the music of our own. And so that is why I love high life. And for those of us at the Adom branch of the multimedia group, if you look at the things that we are, the trajectory of the things that we have done over the years, it's been towards protecting the genre.
Yeah.
We created instrument for our kids who love to do high life music, and we've been doing this. I think this year will be about the 8th or the 9th year that we've been doing that to bring out talents in the high life space. In the past, we've always done 26th of every December. We would do high life fiesta in Tema. Then at a point we felt like, okay, so why don't we do high life? In fact, the high life fiesta was more about artist performances. And why don't we do something that is more 360?
Yeah.
So then last year was the maiden edition, was at the Silver Star Tower, and then we saw that it was a mistake. We saw it was a mistake because, look, you would see Gen Zs there, you would see millennials, you will see the boomers, aged people, and so why do you do it on an elevated space?
Yeah.
And so we decided to do this time. We are going to a flat ground where even if you have challenge walking and you are in a wheelchair, you still should be able to come and enjoy high life. So that is the idea of Strictly High Life. So there is a live band. We would have a live band session. We would have 2 of the best DJs Ghana has. Okay, maybe if I say 2 of the best DJs, Ubeti will not be too happy.
No,
so
Ubeti
one of the best
is the highest paid DJ.
He's the highest paid DJ.
He has his title.
Exactly.
So we leave the other titles
for the other 2. And so we would have Andy Dusty and
Billy
Ocean. Yeah, and Billy Ocean doing the DJ thing. And then because it's a celebration of high life, the experience we want to give the people is not just come, dance, eat, party, and go back. We also want to recognize some high life artists. So we'll be presenting citations to some selected high life musicians who have made contributions to high life music in Ghana. And so, yes, I mean, I'll keep those names for now.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us. we are in the celebratory mode, so you tell us and we celebrate them.
Okay,
and we prepare to meet them.
Yes, so we intend to actually give citations to Adani Best for his contribution to high life music. Akosia Japan has been around for God knows how long. Yes. And you remember those days when it is Christmas and what Jojara did to us?
Yes.
Jojara, we are going to be rewarding Jojara, Samuel Usu. And then one of our young ones who's been making waves across the world, Akwabwa Jr.
Yeah.
So that is the experience that we are going to be giving people on the 1st of January.
And where's the venue for this event?
Okay, so the event is going to be at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel.
Nice.
There is an event center within the La Palm Royal Beach. It's called the Palms Convention Center. That's where it's going to be.
Very beautiful
place.
Yes,
a very beautiful place. Yeah. Very beautiful place. So security, parking, and all those things won't be a challenge at all. And it is the good thing about this year is that last year one of the feedbacks we took from our patrons was that we closed too early. We closed around 2 a.m. But they felt it was too early. So this time the party itself will start at 8 and we will close around 4 to 5 a.m. thereabout. So it's an all-night party.
All night. Strictly
high life party. Yes.
And we also will be celebrating
the
people.
Yeah, the people. And once we celebrate them, they will take time off to do 2 or 3 of their songs.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Akoto Japan in the moves.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I spoke to her yesterday.
Yeah,
and she was so upbeat about it. Very excited.
And Uncle Samuel also will definitely wear that his hat.
Yeah. Samuel is a repeat because he was there last year, and the people they couldn't have enough of him.
And because of Adani Best Jata, we are protecting lions. We don't want to lose them.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to lose them. We don't want to lose them. Yeah. So it's a year starter. Look, there is no better gift to give to, say, if you are an organization and you have people who work for you. There are packages, so you must as well decide that, I want to come for a platinum package. And our event, I've been scanning the environment. Our event is about the I don't want to use the word cheapest, but the most affordable you can go for this year. The platinum package is just about 4,000 Ghana cedis, and you'll be entitled to a table where 6 people would occupy that table
for 4,000 Ghana cedis.
4,000 Ghana cedis. So 6 tickets, and then you have 1 Johnny Walker Black Label, the 750 ml, and then you would be entitled to 1 Bailey's 1 liter Baileys, and then 6 canned cokes, 6 bottles of water, and then there is nothing like high life without pepper soup. So you'd have some pepper soup for each of the persons on the table.
But make sure the Akoto will not find itself in that punching cracker. Samolusi doesn't
like that. And then you have some small chops to go with it. Then there is a silver package which is going a gold package which is going for 3,000 cedis. And so for the gold package, instead of the Johnny Walker black label, you would have a 1 liter Smirnoff vodka. And then you would also have Baileys, and then you have the canned Coke for all the 6 people, water for all 6, pepper soup for all 6, and then the kidnaps. And then there's a silver package which is going for 2,000 Ghana cedis. The thing about the packaging is that, and then we also have regular tickets for which are going for 200 cedis for a person and 300 cedis double. Now the thing about the packages are that we are controlling the space, and so for the platinum we are selling only 20 tables.
Okay.
Only 20 tables. So if you are interested in participating and having a table where you can enjoy the Johnny Walker, then you may have to do it so a bit early. But that's about it. And then there is a limitation for the gold and then the silver and then even the regular. So yes, as at yesterday, there was a mad rush for tickets, but there are still a lot more that
How
you can
do people buy the tickets on the tables?
Yeah, so you can buy the tickets using short codes, or you come to our front desk or go to Bachona Total and be able. If you want to use the short code, it's star 725 star 3404 hash.
Star 725 star 3404 hash. Okay.
And then you follow the prompts and you can make your purchase. It's that simple.
Strictly High Life tomorrow, 1st January, starting at 8 p.m.
Exactly.
Till Mama calls.
We advise that you get there early, at least by 6:37 you should be there, because the party starts right at 8 p.m.
Pam,
Pam, pam.
pam, pam. Pam, pam, pam. Pam, pam, pam. Bum, bum, bum. Charlie. My ready.
My ready me too. My ready too.
Michelle Wellington boots now.
Make sure it's not too heavy, because High Life is something else.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's an all-white affair.
All white affair.
It's an all-white affair.
All white affair.
Yeah. So we are encouraging organizations to come take the tables for their people, so they can make them happy. There is no better way to put your people in the mood for the year than to bring them to High Life to come and party. And so that's
at La Palm.
Yeah, at
the convention.
Palms
Convention at La Palm, right here in Accra, starting at 8, ending at 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Music back to back.
Two of our
best DJs when it comes to High Life.
Exactly.
Andy Dusty, Akwesiamo.
Yes.
And
there is the ACK band on the ACK band is also playing. The ones playing.
And then we also have Billy Ocean. Also playing. And then we have the musicians passing through.
Exactly.
It's a night of High Life. Let's see you there tomorrow, Josh.
Charlie,
thank you for bringing the good news of High Life.
I'm grateful.
We'll go for a quick break. When we return, there's a lot more coming up here on the Super Morning Show. Has Mahama been your hope, or you've gone through a period of hopelessness?
I thought you were going to take my assessment on that.
You can quickly give me your assessment of yes, Josh. You have followed developments in the country.
Okay, so
in detail. So
so Kojo, I have background in teaching where. Assessment is important for the things that we do, and if you do not evaluate people for what they do, they are not really able to tell whether they are moving forward or they are standing still or they are going backward. I will tell you my biggest impression of the positives that have come with Mohammed's second term was the appointments that he made, and the fact that he was able to stay within the number of ministers that he promised he was going to give us. That in itself was impressive. So a lot of people do not when they are doing an assessment of the president, they forget that. But Kojo, a few years ago, bloated government spending has been a huge issue. And so if there is someone who has come and has been able to do 40 as he promised, that in itself, you may have to score the person a B+ or an A. I feel that was spot on. look, we have taken for granted that our lights have also stayed on for the period that it's been around. At the beginning, it was a bit shaky, but I mean, what they have done to keep it where it is massive. The stability of the cedi in itself is a big plus. Look, Galamsey is a big issue, and we feel that they can do better with Galamsey. Look, even in sports, the way they have managed the issues of the Black Stars, the negotiations that have gone on, that have resulted in cutting budgets for the games that we play and all that. All these things are little blessings that sometimes when we are doing the counts, we lose count of. But of course, there is a lot more that they would have to do. And for me, I think that we haven't done too well with the Galamsey issue. The NIMOs are doing some work, but see, it is not enough to say that we are succeeding with the fight. We are not succeeding with the fight. So that's, for me, is one thing that we would have to look at. And then, but all in all, I do not think that you can score him below a B.
You can't score the president below a B. So Josh says you can't score the president below a B.
Yeah.
What is your score? 05511119997. And importantly, what issues do you think His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has excelled in? What issues do you think he's been a disappointment in? Share those with us. We have this conversation with you right after this break. Stay with us.
Danny Bear Boating, Sankuni Bear Bopam, Danny Bear Boating, Sankuni Bear Bopam, Danny Bear Boating, Sankuni Bear Bopam, Danny Bear Boating, Sankuni Bear Bopam. Miss Mobulele, Bobio, Come on, I'm a Maya to Lele, Shamanim, Sumim, Femano, Nunumi, Tuniya, Ashikele, Konyo, Mahunu Westi, Watch it, and now what's Yasia, Ashikele, Oyamife, put up Bayade, Asikele.
Do you want to remain productive and competitive in your business? Then I am happy to remind you that Anointed Engineering Services Limited is still here to serve. We provide homes, offices, and institutions with ultra-silent, reliable, and fuel-efficient diesel generating sets. With sizes ranging from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA at unbeatable prices, you also enjoy a 5-year warranty. Anointed Engineering is noted for unwavering 24-hour after-sale emergency service, rental and sale of tile lights and genuine spare parts, undertake repair and maintenance of all diesel generators, and buy back used generators. Sign up today at our training school and gain hands-on experience from our team of professionals on generators, plants, auto mechanics, electricals, controls, and solar installations. Anointed Engineering has 21 branches nationwide. Locate us at East Legon, 26 Boundary Road, close to the AH Hotel. Call us on 024-642-3534 or 024-348-0334. Locate our head office in Accra at number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway near the Odoko traffic light. Anointed Engineering Services Limited, the generator experts.
This festive season, Magic has a new address, Oak Plaza Hotel. On December 25th, 2025, from 12 noon to 4 p.m., experience our Winter Wonderland Christmas Lunch Buffet. Kids enjoy face painting, mascots, and Santa in the Asanfena Hall. Adults relax at the Lucida Restaurant with fine dining and live music. Just 600 cedis for adults, 450 cedis for kids. The celebration continues on December 28th at the Days Garden, 12 to 4 p.m. Enjoy a rich buffet, live band, board games, plus a full kids zone with bouncy castle, face painting, and Santa treats. Entry 600 cedis per adult, 350 cedis per kid. Start the new year on January 1st, 2026 with Oak's all-day breakfast buffet, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. sharp. 450 cedis per adult, 250 cedis per child. Wrap up the season on January 4th, 2026 with a festive finale, Sunday lunch buffet at the Days Garden, 600 cedis per adult, 350 cedis per kid. Oak Plaza Hotel, redefining standards.
Hey, do they want to sack you dry? Why shall I way? Engagement things and kwenye. Hey, sure. They even added washing machine, fridge, flat screen TV. 65 inches and so. How do they expect you to buy all these and still take care of your family? Oh, Kwame.
Mama. And how hukra? With Access Bank's Pick Now Pay Later, we can get everything now in minutes and pay at 0% interest over the next 6 months. Eye koko kra.
Sir!
Access Bank says faster is here. With a now digitized Pick Now Pay Later, life's big moments are within reach. Just click, pick, approved in minutes. For more information, call our 24-hour contact center on 0800 00 4400. Terms and conditions apply. Access Bank, more than banking.
Rosebank International University College is a proud brand of the Advitech Group, Africa's largest private education provider. With 146 schools across 5 African countries, we are fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, City and Guilds UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. We offer a Doctor of Business Administration, DBA, MBA, MSc, and MPhil in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. At Rosebank, we offer programs in commerce, hospitality, ICT, and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial, Opebia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh or call us now on 0307 007 800.
This festive season, the nation's capital, Accra, is about to smell different. Let's get ready to party! The National Chicken Festival is here, powered by the National Umbrella Directorate and Kokwan Kitten Kitten, with Tobinko Media Group, bringing Ghana the ultimate end-of-year street celebration. From 31st December 2025, straight into 1st January 2026, we take over Osu Oxford Street. Hot grills, juicy chicken, ice-cold beer, smooth whiskey. It's buy one, get one free on chicken. More flavor, more value, more enjoyment. In Kokwan Kitten Kitten. En kukwa kesia kesie. En kuko honeho. The taste that keeps you coming back. Music, energy, street vibes, festive madness till the new year breaks. Bring your squad, bring your appetite, bring your celebration spirit. The National Chicken Festival, 31st December 2025 to 1st January 2026. Osu Oxford Street. Grill, drink, celebrate Ghana.
Welcome one, welcome all to the Festival of Play.
This festive season, Roverman Production, Joy FM, and the National Theatre partners to bring you the Roverman Festival of Play. 1st January 2026, Voices in My Head. 2nd January, Order for 4. 3rd January, The X Factor. And 4th January, Love on the Road. Showing at the National Theatre at 4 and 8 p.m. each day. Rate 300 Ghana cedis and 1,200 for a pack of 6 tickets. Enjoy a further discount of 225 if you're a loyal patron. Tickets are available via Koba short code *365*535#, the Rover app, or the following outlets: Joy FM, Dansoman Shell, Bachona Total, Airport Shell, and Community 11 Shell. Call 050-554-6010. Sponsors: Gino Jollof Mix, Koba, Stanbic Bank, and M Notify. Roverman Productions, be the difference.
Mensa Kamekao!
Now what so dear?
Hey, Charlie, what's it? Imagine buying your favorite gadget and driving home a sleek saloon car.
Oh, yes. With Max Buys You Shop, You Drive promo, every purchase brings you closer to amazing prizes.
Just shop any product from Max Buy between 7th November to 31st December
and stand a chance to win a sleek saloon car, TVs, smartphones, and more. Your next buy could make you a winner.
So what are you waiting for? Shop now and let's make your dream drivable with Max Buy.
Max Buy. You shop, you drive.
Call Max Buy on 054-401-9552. Terms and conditions apply.
This promo is being run by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Looking at my rollie, it's about that time for SWV to drop a gem on mine. Players talk the talk, but they can't walk it. We make the whole country dance when we New York. Don't speak about it, be about it. Seeing Puff on your tube, feeling weak about it. I got the skill of an actor, wind chill factor, minus 5'5", coolest man alive. Baby, who that is? Oh, that's just Puff Daddy. You on my mind like I keep me on my shine, and I feel fine. Sex real dimes while I'm in your deck on rewind. Who I make it hot till you're gelling what PD got. Since PD rock, see me not. So many bricks I build a tenement. Do the freaky thing, baby girl, if you're into it.
I'm looking for a lover that can make a sacrifice. A lover that will understand, will always be by my side. I pray the Lord so I can find my Mr. Right.
Yeah, you're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy, and we're cooking on gas on this last day of 2025. We're assessing the president's performance, and we're going to be hearing from some very fascinating voices, great commentators whose opinions matter, and they'll be telling us how they assess the president's first year in office. In fact, one of the people we'll be hearing from is the person in charge of government communication, the minister in charge of government communication. And of course, I'm talking about the Honorable Member of Parliament for Abra Sebu Kwaman Kese. And that's in the person of Felix Kwachi Ufusu. Felix, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Kojo.
Afishapa. Amen.
Well, you also know I'm actually Kojo.
You're a Kojo as well. Kojo.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, yeah, simple. This Friday, let's go for 90s jam. Let's go and chill together, okay?
I'm terrible at chilling and jamming. So
no. Felix, you've worked. We'll teach you hard this year. Based on what listeners are telling us, your government has worked hard. You need to chill a little bit before you get into the next year. So Friday, 90s jam. Compulsorily, you are being compulsorily invited to come and dance.
Yesterday we assessed the work of your ministry and we gave you an A. You've worked hard. Come and chill, okay?
Come for our day.
Well, let me give you a typical government response. So I cannot confirm or deny.
We can work with that. All right, more from Felix Kwachi and others in just a moment. First, though, let's remind you that at ABSA, they see your story and they invite you to write it with them. Okay, I wonder if you knew that you can actually be investing as part of your everyday story. Thanks to the ABSA mobile app, you can actually invest in treasury bills just on the app, okay? No need to queue at branches and fill forms. It's all done on the app. Just download the app from the Google Play Store or the App Store and register. And after that, you can start transacting. Okay, and you can keep investing in your future one tap at a time. So at ABSA, your story matters, and they invite you to write it with them. You can go to absa.com.gh to learn more. Your story matters, ABSA.
And you can get your eSIM from MTN. Just download the My MTN app wherever you are. Follow the steps and you are live. It's an ultimate life hack for you. You don't need to join any queues. Download My MTN app if you haven't already. Skip the queues, follow the prompt, and get your eSIM. And if you are still yet to go to Electroland, the Electroland Achedia promo is running up to 70% off factory price sales discounts at Electroland Ghana Limited. So go to any of their outlets. Today is the last day, okay? You can go to Tamale near Lamashegu, Spintex, Paloma Hotel, Ring Road in Accra, Kumasi on the Castle Road, Takrady near the Telecel office, Swedro, and all the other branches to enjoy the up to 70% off in the Achedia Kessie promo.
Right, let's get to it. The Minister for Government Communication joins us, Felix Kwachi Ufusu. Felix, we're attempting to assess the performance of President Mahama in his first year of his second coming, if you will. So we'll start with our format and then give you the opportunity to open up the conversation. So first, we'll give you the chance to rate him from A to F, and then you can go ahead and tell us why you're rating.
Well, ordinarily, I do not like giving grades per se for performance. I rather prefer to look at the tangibles and the effects that performance has had on the generality of Ghanaians. The point is that President Mahama's work was cut out with him the moment he won the 2024 elections. Because before that election, everybody knew what Ghana's biggest problems were. And the biggest amongst them was the Ghanaian economy. There were issues that threatened the energy sector, the social sector, i.e. education, health, and what have you, also had significant challenges. For many years, it had been mismanaged and run in a way that tended to create more problems for the people of Ghana. Infrastructure was also a major issue. There were many complaints from the people of Ghana about the state of infrastructure, especially regarding roads and other such critical services. So any assessment of President Mahama's performance, in my view, must be held within this particular context, in addition, of course, to any other metrics that may be used. If you take the economy, for instance, which was far and away the biggest problem that Ghanaians faced, at least in the last 4 years preceding the election, you find that all the critical indicators were in disarray. We had a huge debt problem, I beg your pardon, which had led between 2022 and 2023 to debt defaults. And Kojo, if you want to assess the performance of any economy, there can be no graver indicator than the failure of a country to pay its debts. The moment that happens, you know that that economy is in complete shambles. And in the last 40 years or so, nothing of the sort has happened. So you can say that President Mahama inherited the worst possible economic situation in Ghana's recent history. And that was superintended by the MPP. They could not pay our debts because they mismanaged the economy and simply did not have the money to pay our debts. Because another problem that had bedeviled us, admittedly, it's a perennial problem, but it had gotten to unprecedented levels. And that was the depreciation of the cedi. At some point between July 2022 and November of that same year, the cedi moved from 6 cedis and reached 17 cedis at a point. It was perhaps the most disastrous period in Ghana's contemporary economic management history. Businesses suffered. Many of them closed down. Many more could not make ends meet. And this translated into unprecedented suffering for the people of Ghana. The cost of living rose through the roof. And at a point, inflation hovered around 54%. And you had situations where you could go to the market in the morning and buy an item for a certain price and come back later in the day and find that the price has shot up. Although there is a Ghana Statistical Service report which said that sometime in 2023 or so, because of the direct effects of the economic shambles that the MPP supervised, up to 8.5 million Ghanaians went to bed at some point in that year without food. And that is nearly a quarter of our population. Unemployment was very high. At a point, it stood at 14%. In absolute terms, we're talking around 2 million Ghanaian youth who were without jobs. If you come to education, for instance, the education sector suffered. Despite all the hoopla and noise about free SHS, feeding became a problem. Priorities were misplaced. They were spending money printing exam papers at a time when for several academic or several terms in the academic year, they could not provide textbooks after they themselves had reviewed the educational curriculum. The NHIS was perennially in debt, and service providers were constantly complaining. School feeding caterers were constantly on the neck of government, and they used to march every now and then to the offices of the buffer stock company to demand payment. The District Assembly's Common Fund suffered severely the releases were simply not coming. And so they were hamstrung. And I know when you go to AAK, where I am MP, I'm also as official member of the Legislative Assembly. So I know. The whole of last year, only a paltry 298,000 Ghana cedis, less than 300,000 Ghana cedis, was given to that assembly by way of common fund the whole year. And so, if you look at this situation, you find that any government that was succeeding the MPP was going to have quite a tough time. And what has President Mahama done? He has appointed the right people to helm economic management. I mean, forget about all the noise that the MPP used to make about the supposed prowess of the economic management team. We have not had to make such noise. But President Mahama appointed the right people. He appointed Akoto Forson as finance minister, appointed Dr. Esiama as governor of the Bank of Ghana, and put others in place to assist them in their work. What are the outcomes? Although today, the depreciation of the cedi, which is one of the biggest problems of this economy, has been tamed. And for the first time, at least since redenomination, or in fact, even if you go further to the beginning of the Fourth Republic, we've had a situation where in a year, the cedi has appreciated significantly against the dollar and other trading currencies. In fact, the report is that by the close of this year, the cedi would have appreciated by between 24 to 25% against the US dollar. This did not happen under the MPP. And the result of that, Kojo, is that because our economy is largely import dependent, and let me stress that import dependency is not something that we should encourage. We have to become more export oriented. That perhaps is the most sustainable way of ensuring that our currency remains permanently strong. But moving from import dependency to export orientation will take a bit of time. In between that time, the people of Ghana cannot continue to endure hardships because of rapid depreciation of the currency. So any government that is elected must have it at the back of its mind to do something about the cedi. In fact, it was Dr. Bawumia of the MPP who singled out the exchange rate as the single most important indicator of effective economic management. When he said that if the fundamentals of the economy are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. He meant, and in fact, in that same lecture, he actually said the exchange rate is the single most important indicator. It is in that 2024 speech. So I doubt if the MPP today and the critics who like to join them to say things would dispute that today. Now that the exchange rate has proven to be one of the most important factors that underpins the cost of living. And the result of the appreciation of the cedi is that the prices of items have reduced. You could argue that perhaps the reduction should be steeper compared to the rate of appreciation of the cedi. That is fair comment. But there's no dispute about reduction in prices. At the very least, the price of fuel, as we met it at the beginning of this year, is much lower now. There are filling stations that sell a liter of petrol under 11 cedis. When we came to power, it was anything between 14 to 15 cedis. There was a time under the MPP, I think in 2022 or 2023, when the liter of diesel sold for 23 cedis. The situation is markedly different. Because of that, there have been verifiable reductions in transportation costs, which has also meant that those who rely on transportation for their business have had to also reduce their items. In fact, there was a time when Parliament's Finance Committee, I think the Economy Committee of Parliament, met Guta and challenged them to show evidence of the reduction in prices in consonance with the appreciation of the cedi. And Guta pulled out a list of 4,500 items, which they indicated had actually seen reductions in prices because of the cedi's overall performance. Now, what that has also meant is that at least the dollar component of our debts, if you do a conversion in cedis, has also gone down. And when the finance minister presented the budget, it was clear that between 70 to 80 billion Ghana cedis had been chalked off of our debt, from our debt, because of the appreciation of the cedi. So the cost of living, which was the biggest problem that Ghanaians were facing, has significantly improved because of the cedi's performance. Right. If you look at the energy sector,
Before we move on to energy, if you don't mind, since you've raised some very key points on the economy, I want to get a few other opinions on the economy before we move on to the next sector, if that's okay. So let's say good morning to Professor Godfred Boateng of the University of Ghana. Also on the line is Kojo Opon Nkrumah, who is a ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament. He's also the Honourable Member of Parliament for Ofuase Ayiribi. Benjamin Boache of ASEP also joins us. I don't know if you've realized, but currently in this conversation, there are 4 Kojus. I think we might have to refer to each other by our surnames for a while. Well, at least 4 Kojus. I don't know if Ben and Prof. Boateng are Kojus too. Good morning to you all.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Prof. Boateng, you wouldn't happen to be a Kojo as well, would you?
No. I was not fortunate enough.
That's all right. We'll give you honorary membership for the day. Kojo Opon Nkrumah, good morning to you and Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you and all the other colleagues.
And same to you, Ben Boache. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo, and good morning to distinguished panelists on the call.
Excellent. All right. Now let's take this thing round a little bit with the economy. I'll start with you, Kojo Opon Nkrumah. So the format is you'll give the president a grade from A to F, and then you tell us why.
I would decline to participate in your specific format. I'm now hearing it in the last few seconds for the first time.
Okay.
So I haven't had the opportunity to consider it. What I've had opportunity to consider is a general impression of how the new administration is doing on the economy. And I think I'll be able to say that they've started well on the economic management front. As most government in their first year of administration start. I joined a few minutes ago and I had my brother Felix, touting their record, as it should be. That's what we all do when we are responsible for government communication. So he would tout the record. And it reminds me of the first year records of the various administrations, particularly the 2017 to 2018 administration of President Akufo-Addo. You would also find at that time that inflation was, brought down from what we had inherited from about 15% or so, brought down having in 2016, and all the statutory funds and other things that they were lagging on. We managed to improve it and therefore improve, disbursement to these various funds. If you take on what we considered as nuisance taxes at the time, we managed to remove, I think, north of about 12 or so of those taxes to bring a lot of relief to, the business community. In fact, we managed to achieve stability of the currency, I think in about the first half or so of that particular year. That was when Dr. Baumia, who Felix referred to, said that we had arrested the city and put it in handcuffs. Ours was not an appreciation. It was stability. And I think sometimes when we use these terms, we should also take our time to distinguish between them. So when I hear a list of the economic achievements, may I say, in the first year of this government, my mind goes back to, what we had also succeeded in doing in the first year of our administration. And I think that it is fair to say that this government has started well on the economic management front. Okay. The challenges that we have raised, first of all, are to do with issues, for example, like candor. How candid are they being in the methods they are using? And I think the last time I was in your studio, I had an opportunity to delve into full detail about it. On the currency side, for example, it's obvious that at the beginning, the government did not want to tell the truth about what they were doing. You recall when we started making the argument that because we were clear on the strategy they were using, we thought that we had a responsibility to raise cautions about the sustainability of that strategy. Initially, they were of the view that they should hide that fact. And so you recall the governor telling us that there was no, whether they call it intervention or intermediation, the governor literally denying it the president denying it. I think it was you or one of your colleagues who later, after the government had been literally forced to suspend the intervention and put in place a framework. One of your colleagues also is the one who asked the president at the press conference. And that was the first time the president admitted to the method that was being used, which we had earlier raised that, listen, we understand what is going on. If we're able to stabilize or maybe achieve some mild appreciation, of course, cost of living is very important to the people of Ghana, and so that is helpful to everybody. But if the methods we are using are methods that we should take a second look at, let's be candid first of all and examine those methods so that we also look at it on the question of sustainability. Then subsequently they admitted that yes, this was the method. I think as at now, getting to the end of the year, we have clarity of how much, whether they call it intervention or intermediation, we have clarity on how much of that they have done. And it leads you to ask the question, how are they able to do that? They are able to do that because they've inherited a particular program that now helps in the accumulation of reserves and in the growth of our balance of payment, if I may put it that way. Initially, as I mentioned, because they wanted to just obfuscate, they would not admit that that is what was going on. The questions that then come up, first of all, are about the sustainability, as I mentioned, and the cost of this particular enterprise. And if it is something that is sustainable and doesn't, lead to significant cost in terms of the environmental cost, and then even the opportunity cost economically, I think it's something that everybody will be happy about. However, we have reason to continuously and painfully draw the attention of the government to the fact that the costs of this particular exercise should also be disclosed so that you can then do a full comparison. If you look on the fiscals, we have said time and time again that they have done more damage to the fiscals than they inherited. And we say so in all humility, particularly because we have learned from something we did in 2017. In 2017, when we removed a good number of those taxes, revenue to GDP ratio dropped from somewhere about 19%. If you check, for example, the ISA report on the economy that they published recently, it dropped from about 19%, came down to somewhere about 17%. And it took a while to begin to recover. They have repeated the same thing by, removing quite a number of taxes, I think about 3 or so. But they've introduced about 8 or 9 different taxes. And sometimes we'll continue to urge you, our colleagues in the media, to not just take the narrative, but look into the details. You will see that they've introduced about 8 or 9 new taxes. We've said it time and time again, but it appears that, maybe people just want to overlook that and just continue touting the narrative. But the point really is that we are worried that the taxes that have been removed eventually reduce the revenue effort of this country. And as it showed up in the mid-year, well, not the mid-year, actually, the Q3 review, the revenue to GDP ratio is now dropped to about 11%. That's about 500 basis points of GDP that is gone. And they are suggesting that they will make efforts to make it up by the end of the year. On account of that, you find that they have difficulties in meeting their own full expenditure commitment, and their response to that is that it's fiscal discipline. And we have over and over again made the point that fiscal discipline starts first from the prudence of the fiscal framework you've put in place, second from your ability to mobilize, and thirdly from your ability to stay within those spending parameters. If you focus it all on the last part only, that I'm staying within my spending parameters, we're of the view respectfully that you are missing the other two issues. And we think it is a reason for which a good number of their own commitments that would actually translate into growth and jobs, they have not been able to deliver those. And you will find, in our view, that in 2026, those particular parameters of the growth and jobs will also begin to struggle. And those are some of the things that people measure at the end of the day. So just to sum up my submission, I think what we are seeing in the beginning is a good start from the administration, which is very similar to how literally all the administrations start in the first year when they are cleaning up after previous, sometimes election year overruns and an overheated economy. what matters extensively are the methods that are being used and the sustainability of those methods and how it translates into the quality of life indicators for people. And on occasion when we have had the opportunity, we have shared the lessons we've learned and draw the government's attention to what we think they need to be doing to ensure that this doesn't become one of those things where whenever you are then hit by a certain shock in the Ghanaian economy, you go back to square one because the structural issues have still not been dealt with. Those would be my submissions, Kojo.
Right. Now that you've sort of, summarized your thoughts on the president's performance in the economy quite neatly so, would you agree with those who give him an A for his economic performance?
I see you want to go back to your marking framework.
Now that you've had the opportunity.
I have declined the invitation and I've given you our perspective on what we've done. And I'm not worried at all to repeat it. I think that he has started well, like previous administrations start. What matters is the methods, how sustainable they are, and how they translate into quality of life indicators for people.
Right, thank you for that. Prof. Bokpin, as for you, this is what you do for a living, so you can't avoid greeting our president this morning.
Kojo, let this car pass me too.
How's everybody dodging this exercise? I wonder. Anyway, you've heard two sides to the coin. The government's communications minister is quite commendatory of the president's performance in the economy. Kojo Nkrumah, who is ranking member on finance, says, well, good start, but there are questions around methods and sustainability. From where you sit, how would you rate the president's management of the economy?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to the people of Ghana. Merry Christmas, and my senior colleagues on the call. I think overall, the president has done quite well. Overall, I'm saying overall because I'm looking at the strategy they came into office with. The strategy largely responded to the concerns of Ghanaians. And these were things that we had shared on different platforms, especially from the third quarter of 2021, looking at the effect of COVID. We were very clear that the way out of the effect of COVID, the vulnerabilities that had built up, was not to impose more taxes and burden Ghanaians. Resort to expenditure cut. Our recommendation was that we needed to switch from revenue-based fiscal consolidation to what we call expenditure-based fiscal consolidation. This was our recommendation under the previous administration. I agree that government has done quite well to a large extent because of the strategy they adopted 2025. I'll talk about just the three of them. One was the fiscal recalibration, essentially moving from revenue-based fiscal consolidation to expenditure-based fiscal consolidation. For the first time in a while, we saw a national budget where there was a budget cut in nominal terms. It shrunk expenditure. We will get into the details. It has its own implications. But for a start, it was the optimal decision. So in nominal terms, expenditure went down, but not in critical areas. To a large extent, wasteful spending. Government sought to cut that. That was good. It was a way to meet Ghanaians halfway. If you look at the overall government size in managing this economy, it was probably, we'll say, the least cost approach that we have seen in a while. Of course, we felt that the number could have come down a bit, but we won't take that away from the president. If one considers the pressure that comes on the president in meeting various stakeholders, financiers, sympathizers, rewarding them with positions and all of that, I think, and for the president to have navigated this tricky path I felt he deserves my commendation. Great from that perspective. The cost savings cannot be lost on us. Then again, then you look at another strategy they introduced. They called it shock therapy, essentially reducing our gross financing needs, which would imply that government will borrow less from the market. That immediately caused interest rates to come down, especially money market rates. Money market rate, because that was where government was operating, especially in the short end of the yield curve, money market. So the money market rate came down significantly. The results of that shock therapy, you will see it in the budget, where we had reduced interest payment in excess of 8 billion cedis. Now that drop in the treasury bill or money market rate also caused the Ghana reference rate to also track down a bit, because the calculation of the Ghana reference rate revolves largely around three rate corridors. The policy rate of Bank of Ghana, the interbank rate that mirrors the policy rate, and then the treasury bill rate where government has a role to play. So you can see that. So there's a pass-through of the effect of the shock therapy and then the fiscal recalibration to consumers of credit in terms of lower cost of borrowing. You cannot run away from that. The Ghana reference rate could have come down much faster than what it is, but simply because the policy rate was a bit high and it failed to track. We'll talk about the details maybe with time. Then the third one was the strengthening of the fiscal regime. They amended the Public Financial Management Act, actually integrated the Fiscal Responsibility Act, and which the MPP passed, I think, 2018 or so. Now we had debt limit rules enshrined in the Public Financial Management Act. We had undertaken to do primary balance on surplus basis of 1.5% of GDP, consistent with the IMF program. If you look at the deficit we did in 2024, which essentially derailed the IMF program objectives, and the fact that the government used just 1 year budget, 2025 budget, to restore the fiscal outlook consistent with the IMF program, I think that again is commendable. The steep expenditure cap and all of that. Then the other bit that I think that has also worked is the fact that there is complementarity in terms of the coordination from the fiscal side and the monetary side. So you see that Bank of Ghana also followed quickly with monetary tightening, okay, and they scaled up essentially the sterilization by mopping up billions of cedis out of the market. Now, with the fiscal side, fiscal discipline, steep expenditure cuts, the fact that government abandoned large government side, wasteful spending, opulence, and all of that, that created the policy room for the monetary side to intervene strongly in order to bring inflation down through the path of exchange rate largely. And I think Honorable Kojo Nkrumah mentioned something that I also agree with him, that we said it at the beginning of this year that there was exchange rate targeting, which essentially would enable the Bank of Ghana or enable us to bring down inflation faster than using a gradualist approach. We said that, even though that was denied and all of that, but now we know what it is, so we will not major on the minor. So with that, we saw inflation coming down significantly, and that is good news. We can't run away from that. That's good news. Low inflation is desirable in itself. So you will notice this Christmas, okay, you will notice that there's a certain level of calm in the economy. The approach government adopted in calming the economy, because the economy was overheated, whether we like it or not, I think that is commendable. So in the short term, with all of these things, we can give a pass, a generous one. The other bit to consider, and it's always good to consider that, is that macroeconomic stability would always come at a cost. So the cost of restoring macroeconomic stability, either in terms of taxes or expenditure cuts, as government has done, and all of that, should not be lost on us. And here you see the trade-offs. So if you see the steep fiscal consolidation that we've done, we knew that from the third quarter of this year, it will begin to have it will show in our GDP numbers. So if you see first quarter GDP growth, it was quite robust. With the data, it's very difficult to attribute first quarter GDP growth entirely to NDC because their budget was approved somewhere much thereabouts and all of that. So you can take first quarter growth out, then you begin to see the pass-through of their measures as more from the third quarter. So you will see quarter on quarter, you will see that growth momentum slowed. And again, if you see the third quarter, you can see that growth slowed to about 5.5%. Again, if you look at high-frequency data, you will see that the volatility is quite high. Now, the fact that you see volatile GDP growth quarter on quarter, or even with the high-frequency data, already tells you that, yes, we've seen recovery, but the economy is yet to discover its position and where you can have steady, predictable growth and all of that. We can pass that over with time. Now, if you also look at GDP growth from expenditure lenses, you will see the effect of the government strategy showing up in the numbers. So if you look at GDP from expenditure angle, you will see that growth was driven more by private or household consumption, whilst government consumption slowed a bit. But the government is the biggest spender in the economy. So we need the government to spend significantly in order to stimulate growth. But in the immediate, in the short term, there isn't much that government can do here. So we take the side effect of the medicine in good faith. The issue is to weigh so that the side effect doesn't become or doesn't outweigh the intended benefit from administering the shock therapy or the strategy you want to put in place. So fast forward, or going forward, you will see, Kojo, the government itself appreciates the side effect of the medicine they've administered in 2025. So the 2026 budget scales up, especially when it comes to spending in the area of infrastructure, where we are looking at an allocation of about 57.5 billion Ghana cedis relative to the dwarfed amount in 2025. That said, you also see that I think the Minister of Communication also said something, and I agree with him. Government has largely been on track when it comes to social spending. So the issues of agitation when it comes to national health and the rest of them, we haven't seen that here. And it's also born out of the strategy. So you see that when it comes to social spending, especially in the area of education, health, and social protection, I think I commend government because largely they are on track when it comes to disbursement and all of it. So that is good news. Of course, the NDC is living up to its social democratic whatever principle and all of that. We commend them. The sacrifice in this recalibration we are talking about has to do with CAPEX. So in the area of infrastructure, you will see that not much spending has gone in that area. Now, you also see, Kojo, and this is quite fundamental for me, that in the time past, revenue shortfall, and I agree also with Kojo Oponkoma, let me add honorable to it for the record, that government revenue envelope did not respond optimally to the underlying revenue measures. It's not unique to only this government. But the good thing that this government has done, which will not be lost on us, is that unlike in the time past, where they would explain revenue shortfall by going to the market to go and borrow, they chose to explain the revenue shortfall by cutting expenditure. So in the first 3 quarters of this year, revenue shortfall per the program was around 7.7 billion Ghana cedis. In order to keep the primary balance of 1.5% of GDP, government chose to cut expenditure by 31.1 billion Ghana cedis, rather than going to the market to borrow, which will put upward pressure on interest rates and all of that. So overall, from the positive side, good news.
Right.
Now, we cannot talk about the economy without the environment. And here,
Prof, if you don't mind,
the president.
If you don't mind, Prof, I would like you to hold your horses on the environment because we will dedicate some time to it. But since we're wrapping up on the economy, and by the way, the next thing we're going to talk about will be energy. Ben Boache is going to assess the president on that, and we'll hear from Felix in response, and also from our two other panelists, Kojo Nkrumah and Prof. Bokbin. And then we'll go to the environment. Now, just before we take a break and then come back to hear from Ben Boakye on energy, I want to give a minute each to Felix and Kojo just to have their let's call it response to Prof. Bokben's assessment. And Felix, in your minute, I wonder if you can also address the position that some people have that majority of the good performance of the economy this year is down to favorable international conditions, great prices for commodities, fueled by the uncertainty of Trump leadership, letting things, letting waves, roll in our favor economically, as opposed to the previous government that had some global shocks which made life difficult for them.
It was not the previous government alone that suffered global shocks. In fact, since 1992, every government we've had has suffered some form of global shocks. Indeed, in the mid-90s, you recall that in the run-up to the two elections of 2000, there was a precipitous drop in the prices of commodities like gold, cocoa, and water. And it significantly impacted government finances. And I recall that during that campaign, the government of the day, led by the likes of Victor Saleme and Mr. Kwampepa, made it a point to highlight those challenges. They were dismissed as untenable, and the government of the day lost elections. President Kufuor also had some global shocks in the form of the rise in the prices of some imported commodities. There was a global financial crisis between 2006 and 2008. President Mills also had his own form of shocks. And then President Akufo-Addo had some shocks. So shocks have always been there. But you can still have things going smoothly for you by way of the external factors that influence the performance of an economy and still mismanage your finances. The secret to the success that we've showed is not that we've had favorable terms in terms of the export of commodities. It is that we have remained fiscally disciplined. So Kojo highlighted the bits about some revenue shortfalls. I think Professor Bokben also did. What has happened is that over the period, or before this government came to power, whenever there have been shortfalls in revenue, governments have failed to make corresponding cuts in expenditure. And indeed, if you check the record of the NPP, when COVID struck and there was some shortage or shortfalls in revenue, but they had some additional financing, over 20 billion Ghana cedis or so, from institutions like the World Bank, the IMF. In fact, the IMF gave us $1 billion back to back between 2022 and 2023. No government has had $1 billion for free from the IMF in that manner. They had money from the AFDB, they had money from the World Bank and other financial institutions. And yet they failed to make corresponding cuts in expenditure so that the shortfalls that have occurred in revenue mobilization do not become a problem. What we have done is that where there has been a shortfall, there have been corresponding cuts. So when you hear some ministers complain that they've not had monies released to them, and indeed the minority has been at pains to highlight this over and over and over again in Parliament. The point is that when your revenue declines, you must make corresponding cuts so that you stay within your fiscal targets. You don't exceed your deficit targets. You don't exceed your primary balance targets. That is what the previous government failed to do. That is what we have done right. And so you find that whereas it is not every sector that has received the funding that they were earmarked to receive, the most critical sectors have received the financing that they require. And that is what Professor Bokben was alluding to when he spoke about us being on track in terms of social spending. So when you come to Ghana, what are the sectors that cover the majority of our people?
I have to push you to wrap up in 20 seconds, please.
When you take education, for instance, we are talking close to 6 to 7 million people who benefit from government spending on education. If you come to health, we are talking close to 10 million people. If you come to gender and social protection, we are talking hundreds of thousands of people. So once spending is going into these areas, you find that the significant sections of society have their needs addressed. So that is it. It is fiscal prudence, matching revenue with expenditure. If you suffer a shortfall, you make corresponding cuts and focus on the expenditures that matter. That is what we have done. And that is the reason why we remain within the thresholds that we set for ourselves. Now, in terms of the taxes, if you let me land on it.
Right, please.
Now, there's no doubt that the NPP government burdened Ghanaians with taxes. Taxes like e-levy were loathed by the Ghanaian electorate. Taxes like the COVID levy, the betting tax. At some point, they had this luxury car tax where you pay between 1,000 to 2,000 cedis, depending on the size of the engine that you used. These impose hardships on people, and therefore their incidence was not acceptable. And that is why we made a commitment when we were campaigning that we will scrap those taxes. Indeed, we have done this. Over time, we will find a way to adjust in terms of their impact on government revenue. But what we will not find us do is to overspend in a manner that undermines all the gains we've made. And indeed, if you check Ghana's historical tradition, I'm sure Professor Boateng will bear me out. The single biggest problem that has resulted in all the economic crisis we face is fiscal indiscipline. It is cyclical, happens all the time. But we are determined to stem that and ensure that we don't fall back into that difficulty, which then erodes all the gains that have been made economically.
All right. And Kojo Nkrumah, in your wrap up, I wonder. I wonder if you can address the opinion that even if the methods by which the CD has been strengthened are questionable, they worked, and so in the short term, they were the right decisions that were made by the managers of the economy.
So I'll come to that. Let me quickly deal with some of the submissions, first by Professor Boateng and then by Felix. I don't think there's much to disagree with Professor Boateng on, except to say, and I don't know if he's observed it in the numbers, though nominally may appear that I think as at half year they had a revenue shortfall of about 7 billion. What they have not disclosed is that they've inherited 11 billion as a balance brought forward, if you look at the all of government accounts published by the Comptroller and Accountant General, from us, the previous administration. And they claimed that we did not leave any sort of resources for them. If you add that to the 11 billion, their true revenue gap is about 18 billion. And that's why we argue that the removal of taxes, which they have made a lot of political capital about, we are very worried, especially learning from our experience, that it is going to haunt them down the line, especially as they, from about 2026, 2027, try to move into fiscal expansionary mode. When the revenue sides are not coming, you're going to struggle there very much. And we say this in good faith, that it's a caution they need to pay attention to. Now, I find some of my brother Felix's arguments as defeating each other. In one breath, he says that the single most important difficulty that faces the Ghanaian economy, which they've had to work on, is the appreciation of the currency. And I think all of us on this panel will agree that when you double click on the appreciation of the currency, the single most important contributor is the shoring up of gold prices on the world market. When we brought the gold purchase program, the average price of an ounce of gold was about $1,700 an ounce in, I think, 2021 or so when we brought it. Today it's doing about 4,000 plus an ounce. So the reality is that the gains that they have made because of the windfalls, which have been, like we say in local parlance, pumped onto the market towards this exchange rate targeting agenda, which they initially denied, is the major contributor. It is not necessarily fiscal discipline. Fiscal discipline plays its part. I would not run away from that. But the gains that we are seeing currently is about, in my view, cursorily 75 to 80% about the external side. And that brings me to my next point, that there must be a lot of candor on the part of government. Because you see, when you don't embrace the facts candidly, you sometimes run off on this supposition that all is well until something hits you. And you would notice that on a number of occasions, this government has either tried to deny or, parry the real methods, and I'll come to your point about methods, and the real conditions. The problem is that when you do that, you don't deal with the structural issues. And if you don't deal with those structural issues, when those conditions, global, commodity prices that are now seeing a buoyancy because of the uncertainties, like you mentioned, when those conditions taper, then you find yourself in trouble one more time. Now, I am of the view, as I mentioned earlier, that it's been a good start. But the methods matter because you don't want it to be a blip on the radar. 65 years in this country, with all the resources that we have and the back and forth that we have had, we have a good opportunity now to build on the things that have been started and get a more stable ship going forward. If we spend a lot of time literally trying to, let's say, deny everything that we have even learned or built upon, we will not be able to do that kind of building that takes us forward. And that's one of the points that I really want to make very strongly. It's important. We do the politics, but it's important to be candid that, listen, this was started in this era. We've seen a lot of good in it, and we are building upon it. I'll give you an example. Take the Public Financial Management Act. It was a beautiful piece of legislation. It did its bit. I have been on record to commend the current finance minister for the commitment controls that he has even added to it, because it helps to deal with the structural problem that we've had when it comes to, our deficits on commitment basis, or as different arms of government are committing and tying the hands of the exchequer as they go by.
20 seconds,
future
please.
MPP administration, very quickly, a future MPP administration should not wish it away and say that they didn't do anything. No, we should be to admit it and to build on it if we can do that even further. And I think it is very important that that candor is embraced by this government. The last time, for example, they brought a loan facility to Parliament. They said it's a financing facility, trying to define it differently. You don't need all of that. You need to be candid so that you can then build on the foundation. Else, you will tinker with the margins, use methods that work in the short term, but you wouldn't have addressed the structural issues, and something simple hits you tomorrow and we're back to square one. Nobody wants that for Ghana.
Right. Now, I can't wait to get into a conversation about energy. Ben Boachi joins us with his candid assessment of the president's performance in that sector. Felix Kwasi-Ofosu remains to give us the government's perspective. We'll also be hearing from Kojo Nkrumah, Professor Bokbin, and then, of course, the almighty environment. That's the one we'll wrap things up on. Stay with us. All of that comes up after these.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Ginny Rice says, let's go to Dubai. From September to December, buy a 4.2 kg bag of Ginny Rice, scratch the card inside for a chance to win a prize and a once-in-a-lifetime free trip to Dubai. Ginny, spreading smiles. This advert is FDA approved.
As 2025 comes to an end, we look back full of gratitude and see God's faithfulness. With hearts full of thanksgiving and our hands ready to worship, join us for crossover with Pastor Mensa Otabil at Christ Temple East. Get ready to worship, pray and praise your way through to 2026. Experience a rich outpouring of music ministry from CT Praise. Endless Praise, Lumina. Pastor Mensa Otabil will bring us God's word and lead us in a communion and an anointing service to prepare us for the new year. Time 9 p.m. Buses will be available across the city to bring you to Christ Temple and back to your pickup points after the service. Come with your family, your faith, and your expectation.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castnet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Imagine a logistics partner that's more than just a partner. A single solution that's fast, efficient, cost-effective, and reliable. Welcome to Magdan Shipping Company Limited, the trusted name in shipping and logistics that's second to none. From owning our own vessels for dedicated ocean freight to providing chartered cargo planes for urgent air transport, we control the entire process. Need to move complex, large-scale equipment? Our expertise in project cargo ensures every detail is handled with precision. We provide seamless storage and distribution solutions that keep your supply chain running smoothly. Our affiliation with prominent international bodies, along with our vast network covering over 1,200 major air and seaports worldwide, guarantees our global reach and solid reliability. At Magdan, we don't just meet expectations, we exceed them. Get in touch now. Email sales@magdanshipping.com. Magdan Shipping Company Limited, your trusted partner for every logistical need.
Dear Santa, I don't want a lot this holiday. All I want this holiday is on DSTV, so I can watch all my favorite kids shows on Cartoon Network, Nick Jr. and Nicktoons. Also, Daddy can watch all his football games, and Mommy can watch all her telenovelas.
Ho ho ho! No bronya kuko this Christmas. Get yourself or gift that special person a DSTV decoder as a Christmas gift today at 89 Ghana cedis. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Welcome to Hevzies, a gift concierge that offers you the best in luxury gifting. Hevzies' range of offerings span hampers, fresh flowers, baby baskets, heritage gifts, and branded souvenirs. Each package is thoughtfully created to be appropriate for the occasion and with the recipient in mind. Most importantly, we do our best with all budgets for a stress-free and impactful gifting experience. Elegance is our hallmark. That is why we call ourselves the purveyors of elegance. Contact Hevzies on 055-594-0022. Locate us at 13 Ni Oyo Avenue behind American House, East Legon. Hevzies, purveyors of elegance.
FPAC is effective for headaches and relieves the symptoms of flu, colds, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pains. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is effective against rheumatic pains. You can find FPAC in all pharmacy and chemical select shops throughout the country. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior follows in the tradition of FPAC tablets, a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold, and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away.
Jack was on his way home. Just another evening drive. Lorraine was crossing the street. Just another walk to the shop. But in a split second, everything changed. One moment could save a life. Accidents keep rising and casualties keep climbing, leaving families in pain. Remember, avoid drinking and driving. Wear your seatbelts, helmets, and look both ways before crossing. Road safety is in your hands. The Road Safety Campaign is brought to you by Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. App Bako Services Bebre, Universal Motors Limited, driving trust, delivering excellence, and powered by Joy FM, Adum FM, Asempa FM, Hits FM, Joy News, and Joy Prime.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We're gearing up for the 90s jam. It's going to be a big one. But here on the Super Morning Show, on this very last day of the year, we're doing things a little bit specially, okay? We've got an important conversation. We're assessing the president's performance. And so we have got a special dispensation to add a little bit of extra time so we can really wrap up our conversation neatly. So today's show ends at 20 minutes past 10. Okay, we've got some extra 20 minutes to wrap things up with our guests, and we've been hearing from Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, who of course is the Minister for Government Communication. We have Kojo Nkrumah, Member of Parliament for Ofuasi Ayiribi. We also have Professor Godfred Bokbin of the University of Ghana Business School, and we have Ben Boakye of ACEP, Africa Center for Energy Policy. We've been talking about the economy. Up next, we're going to break down the president's performance in the energy sector. It's been an eventful year in energy. And Ben Boakye is going to tell us, from his perspective as a civil society organization, how the president has performed. So stay with us. That's coming up. But first, Aqua Safari has made a name for itself as the best conference venue in Ghana, and there are reasons for that. Okay, state-of-the-art technology, very comfortable seating, which is also adaptable, so you can move things around to suit the purpose of your meeting, and of course the amazing downtime options. You can either tour the islands, you can check out the animal sanctuary, or you could just pick a seat and enjoy the breeze of the Volta River at Adan. All these options are available to you. If you want to book the best conference you've ever had, call 0540 110 190. Aqua Safari Resort, bringing you closer to nature.
And if you want that gifts for that friend, that boss, that partner, you need to talk to Hefzis today, okay? They are giving you elegant gifts, and each package is thoughtfully curated to be appropriate for the occasion. So call them on 0555 940 022. They're located at East Legon, behind American House on the Ni Oyo Avenue. Hepsi's Gifts, your purveyors of excellence. And I'm still reminding you that the Electroland Achedie promo is happening, up to 70% off. It's ending today, okay? And the items are a mixture of brand new, slightly used, refurbished, showroom display, off showroom, without a box, etc. So go to any Electroland shop and get up to 70% off all the things you buy today. Call them on 050 315 9739.
Now that's a sale, up to 70% off. Wow. Well, listen, for those who want more, the ABSA Ultimate account is designed exactly for you. Okay, you get more of everything from retrenchment insurance of up to 50,000 Ghana cedis to hospital cashback benefits, as well as access to seamless digital solutions. Not forgetting the big one, up to 1 million Ghana cedis of travel insurance cover. This plus over 30 other benefits on the account makes it perfect for those who want more. And of course, you want more, because more is always better. Your story matters, ABSA.
And if you need a generator, talk to AXA today. AXA generator is here, so when the lights go out, you don't get left out in the dark, okay? They keep you shining. They always spark the spark. And there's a surprise this month. Get up to 25% off every purchase. They are on the Spintex Road, and you can call them on 0302 979 862. That's 0302 979 862. So talk to AXA today and get your generators. A generator is bought only once from AXA. Remember that Electroland is still giving you up to 70% off. So go to any of their showrooms and buy all that you need for your homes. And if you are thinking about getting a world-class education, talk to Rosebank University today. They are in Ghana, and they are accredited in South Africa and Ghana, and also by the British Accreditation Council. And also they have City and Guilds alliances, as well as other alliances worldwide. So go to them, learn supply chain management, get a master's in culinary arts, or innovate with their digital marketing and IT business systems programs. Find them on riuc.edu.gh. That's their website. Admissions are open for January 2026. You can get diplomas, undergraduate degrees, and postgraduate degrees like DBA, MBA, MSc, and MPhil from Rosebank University. Call them 030-700-7800. Rosebank International University College. Fast track your global career.
Now everybody is going to Star Oil because they are the biggest OMC in Ghana. Over 240 stations across the country, which means you can get the best quality fuel at the best prices wherever you go. They also have the Star Card, which allows you to do cashless fueling while you keep an eye on the bottom line. That's great. So listen, wherever you go, whatever you do, buy the best quality fuel and at the best prices from Star Oil. And of course, Kingdom storeonline.com is the best place for top quality office essentials, equipment and furniture, all from Kingdom Books. You can pay via Momo across all networks and they'll deliver to your home or office in good time. Terms and conditions apply. You also get free delivery if you're in Accra or Tema. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
You know, Kojo Oponkroma says something, and I want to just run through the data quickly before we get back to them on the lines on the performance of the government and why he thinks that even though we've seen some gains, we should be very, very careful. And historically, when the NPP took over in 2001, for example, they took over inflation of 40% from Rollins. Okay, by the end of the first year of Kufuor, it had dropped to 21.3. Okay, when Kufuor was leaving office, it kept dropping at a point 14%, 2003 23%, 2004 11%. And then it came all the way to 18% when Kufuor was leaving office. In Mills's first term, it dropped to 16% first year. Then it went to 8%, single digit. Stayed at 8 through 2010 to 2012. Came to 13.5, 17%, 17.7, ended 2016 at 15.4. Akufo-Addo takes over and takes it to 11% in his first year. Goes to single digits till 2020, then we see the double digits and ends around 23. In Mohammed's first year, we are seeing a single digit inflation. So in the first year of every government, based on the historical data, I realize that inflation, we seem to do better, right? But as time goes on, and usually in the election years, it deteriorates. So he's cautioning the government, and I think it's a very, very good caution, not for this government, but for all future governments, but that you have to consistently do what you have to do to keep the gains and not to mess up in the election year.
Thanks for that. All right, now we're going to move on now to energy, right? And Ben Boache is with us. Ben, the year started off quite dramatically. On the very day of the president's inauguration, we were told by the person who then became energy minister that we were literally running on fumes and the lights were going to be turned out. Somehow, that was avoided. The lights have pretty much stayed on throughout the year. How has that been done? And how would you assess the president's efforts in that direction?
Thanks, Kojo, for having me. Yes, you're right. I think there were challenges. And there are still challenges in the energy sector. But I think the sector has been very much coordinated to stabilize the situation and deal with the debt issues in the sector. So, I could segment the issues to debt management, to efficiency improvement, and revenue collection. If I may start from the last bit, which is the revenue collection side of things. Early in the year, the Minister for Energy was clear that all revenue should go into the cash waterfall mechanism for onward distribution to the sector players. And that directive, since January, has largely been complied with, which for me is a significant shift from what we had become used to, where revenues are collected and ECG decided how it uses the revenue. and not account for it in the cash waterfall mechanism. If we continue that path, Ministry of Finance perhaps will be inheriting an additional $500 to $600 million today. When we're doing an average about $20 million to the IPPs, and suddenly we're doing almost $60 million to the IPPs and the sector agencies. So that is a significant shift. And what I've seen is that for the directive for the minister to actually be implemented shows that there are no distribution of power or authority in that space. So it then shows that the minister communicates the authority of the president, and therefore everybody must comply. And that is a significant shift that we've seen over the year, and I hope that continues to be able to address the sector issues. On the fuel side, I think largely we pushed to aggressively address the gas situation, bring on more gas, and make it difficult to even, for the sector to demand a liquid fuel at this point. We pushed domestic gas production from around 270 on the average to now almost 350 MMscf per day, which significantly has addressed the need to use liquid fuels. There are still room for improvement. Additional investment is required to optimize domestic gas production on the upstream side, which also is a consequence of earlier directives to actually push investment upstream, because the oil and gas producers had indicated that given the environment, they were not going to push in money to produce more gas. And when some of the bottlenecks were addressed, remember we had been in court with Tallow, been in court with ENI, and those issues were resolved early in the year. That brought in additional investment that could help improve gas supply. So that is also a plus, which has ensured that we have amount of gas that could help reduce our dependence on liquid fuel, which is far more expensive for the power system. On the debt management side,
Ben, before we move on to debt management, if you don't mind, on fuel, halfway through the year, there was this interesting situation we were made aware of, that the tariffs we're paying don't include the purchase of fuel, of fuel. And for that reason, the government tabled a 1% levy
per liter.
Per liter on 1 cedi per liter on fuel. There was some kickback, and that was shelved. But has the problem been solved?
Not entirely. I mean, the assumption that the tariff doesn't include fuel was erroneous. I mean, the tariff is always a composite of all the variables that go into generation of fuel power. The situation was rather that when you put in the fuel and you sell at a given tariff, you are not able to recover enough revenue for you to pay for the cost of generation and also the fuel side. So historically, it's been Ministry of Finance that had been picking up the fuel bill. So they pay, for example, the Sankofa project, or the gas that is consumed almost entirely is taken up by the Minister for Finance. And when we need to buy liquid fuels, in most cases, because it comes in an ad hoc manner, you wouldn't have had that modeled into a tariff, and some gap would exist between the gas that is used to model the tariff and also the liquid fuel that you buy. So that was really the situation, and Ministry of Finance thought that they would rather want a situation where there is some additional provision to take care of the gap between what ECG raises and then what the Ministry of Finance had to take up. And that's what really pushed for that 1 cedi per liter thing. I think that's also helped to pay some of the liabilities. I mean, still, the Ministry of Finance is paying for the gas, over $70 million a month, for the gas that is produced. So that is perhaps what the ministry is using I don't have the full details on that, using to pay for that gas. And then also, the outstanding debt. Earlier in the year, we had over $1.5 billion outstanding, to pay to the IPPs. There had to be fiscal room to be able to address that debt payment. And, mid-year, Minister of Finance and Minister of Energy constituted a committee, which I was part of, to help engage the IPPs to look at how that outstanding debt could be treated. Being part of that process, I mean, the difficulty for some of us was whether, after going to engage IPPs, negotiating for haircut, would the government of Ghana comply with the payment obligations to make sure that we're able to deal with the outstanding debt. And I must say that the promise that was given to those of us who served on the committee, that after the negotiations, government will pay, has actually been kept, and the payments are being made. Over $400 million or so have already been paid now on the debt, and we were able to structure it for a 4-year repayment plan, which the Ministry of Finance has committed to actually paying. And that for me is a plus Ministry of Finance to appreciate the need to actually deal with your debt in that comprehensive manner and stay focused on dealing with it. It's good for the sector and also improves the confidence in the energy sector. And hopefully that should translate into additional investment into generation and expansion of the energy landscape in that space. So I think on those calls, there are a lot that have happened to keep the light stable and also to keep the IPPs and the sector players happy. What remains outstanding for me would be the efficiency side, making sure that it's not just ECG paying into the cash waterfall, but also being able to recover the inefficiencies, which hovers around 30%, which is quite significant. So what that simply means is that if you give ECG 1 billion worth of power to sell, they're only bringing 700 million, which leaves a big gap. If we're able to deal with that immediately, that could help address a lot of the problems on debt accumulation, which in a large extent has been dealt with. Now ECG is almost current on the IPP side with just the revenues that are coming now. They then will be able to address the other components, to VRA and other local players in that space. So we need to aggressively tackle that. And I thought that the blueprint was there. It was the same government that did private sector participation, which was really on course right until 2018 when it railroaded. And we need to bring it back to make sure that we can improve on the efficiency side and collect more revenues to lift that burden. Because if we're able to deal with that and bring in that 30%, that immediately takes off the 70 million plus that the Ministry of Finance is paying to the gas sector players. And that could be enough revenue to tackle development in many sectors of the economy.
Ben, let's look into the crystal ball really quickly. In 30 seconds, the tariffs are about to go up from tomorrow. And then we expect systemic increases throughout the year. Will Ghanaians be able to afford electricity in 2026?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've always been an advocate for efficiency rather than continuous adjustment of the tariff. And we keep adjusting the tariff for the few responsible, customers. And people are just stealing power, all right, and not paying for it. So if we're able to bring in a lot more people into the paying basket, then that reduces the need to actually adjust the tariff. And I'm hoping that 2026 we'll find a way to actually improve the efficiency and not focus more on just tariff adjustment. Because if we really want industry to survive, the current rates that we're giving to businesses wouldn't encourage others to set up in Ghana. And therefore we need to address the tariff side of things and allow businesses to have cheaper power and be able to create jobs for our people.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, here's what we're going to do to make sure we maximize the time we have left. Before we come to Felix and Kojo, who we will wrap things up with, we'll give them the final say on this. I'm going to come to Prof. Boateng to hear his take on the president's performance in the environment, so that Felix and Kojo will have the opportunity to respond to both issues with their final wrap-ups. So, Prof. Bokpin, environment. In 3 minutes, please.
I want to say thanks, some appreciation to Ben. I agree with him with the analysis on the energy sector. Of course, he's an expert in that area, and I think he's done quite well. The issue is that with all the gains we are seeing here, it's yet to reflect in how consumers benefit from that. Because if you see the plan utility adjustment for this year, and also consistent with the IMF supported program, I think government should take another look so that consumers feel the benefits or the gains that we are seeing here. Of course, it doesn't resolve all the issues, though. Yes, so Kojo, I spent the first part of my submission highlighting the positive things that the government has done, and that is commendable. Vulnerabilities exist, and that is where I also lean towards the submission, largely the submissions from Honorable Kojo Oponkuma, that vulnerabilities exist in our economy, and especially if you look at the way we've propped up or supported the value of the CD this year, certainly highlight some vulnerabilities on the ground. And one way of judging that is to see if you look at the IMF fifth review, the fact that our debt sustainability actually, per the model, suggests or indicate, confirms that we are moderate risk country, but the fund failed to confirm that by applying other judgments reflecting other vulnerabilities and all of that. So those things are there. I am not totally happy of any growth model that relies extensively on the destruction of the environment. It is not sustainable. In fact, it's the surest way of determining whether your growth model, your strategy is sustainable. It is not. If you look at the harm we are causing to our environment, we are speaking today more than 40% of all river bodies in our food basket regions are polluted. I'm sorry, and I've stated openly that I acknowledge the president's intervention on the economy and so many other areas. But when it comes to irresponsible mining, I think the president has failed us. The president is failing us. And if he continues like this, it can only get worse. That is my biggest fear for this country. Look, we should be taking advantage of the favorable world external environment with the fiscal discipline we are seeing to gradually move our economy to a generation innovation rather than just producing gold, export this gold. We are even taking losses. One day we'll discuss that. And then just pumping that to show up the stability of the city. I think this is not really economic management if you look at it, and its sustainability. And then again, and here you also see why our growth is also exposed to one sector like service led by ICT. The vulnerability is quite real and all of that. So I want to urge the president. I know that this is quite complex. It didn't start today. We have allowed it to grow, to fester to this level. It's more challenging dealing with it now. But Mr. President, this was exactly what you asked for when you were campaigning in 2024. You created the impression that you can deal with this. And we trusted you. Do not betray our trust. You can never define an economy independent of the environment. In fact, the concept of an economy, especially with respect to also balance of payment, is an area under the effective control of a single government, defined to include land area, airspace, territorial enclaves, all of that. So if you cannot preserve the environment, it's the basic. I'm afraid we are heading dangerously. Time is not on our side. Yeah. So I am unable to celebrate any growth model that relies extensively on the destruction of the environment. Right. In fact, we should be doing cost-benefit analysis of how we can reclaim our environment and the cost at which we can do so. Right. Typically, macroeconomic stability will come at a cost. We should reflect the cost fully in our discussion so that we are able to adopt a balanced approach. Otherwise, the way we are going, for me, it's problematic.
Prof, thank you. All right, Kojo Oponkuma and Felix, I think we're going to have 4 minutes each to hear your take on power and the environment. I'll start with you, Kojo. Do we still?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so let me start off on the environment side. I think that while you may see a renewal of effort in dealing with the phenomena of illegal and irresponsible mining, you will not necessarily see significantly improved results. And that is what Professor Boateng and may I say the few voices that are still left alluding to, that you are not seeing a significantly improved result when it comes to the fight against illegal mining. What is worse, and I think the last time that the president called a meeting at the Jubilee House to meet the CSOs, etc., there were major questions that were being asked about the stability levels in the water bodies and why some, seemingly smaller set of data was being presented. Listen, nobody is fooled by it, and if we will all be honest, not partisan, the results have not significantly improved. In fact, in many places, it's gotten worse. And now it is even more worrying because we have reason now to believe, based on a cursory look at the data, that state money is now being used to fund part of this illegal mining phenomenon. If you look at the export data, and if you look at the key parameters on the gold industry now, the large-scale exporters have not significantly increased what they are exporting. Smuggling has been, we are told, significantly curbed by the activities of the gold board. Yet, there is palpable evidence of illegal mining going around us. Who is buying that illegal mining gold? If you put the pieces together, again, going to be it is obvious that state money is now being used to fuel Galaxy. In fact, I think Kojo Yankson, you asked the president about it at the Jubilee House, and he let the cat out of the bag. Later, they tried to do a PR cleanup. But it is a major matter that must be attended to. Else, today, you may say you are getting benefits for it, but tomorrow, we are all killing ourselves.
2 minutes.
Food, our water, our environment, we're all killing ourselves. My last point will have to do with something you haven't introduced. How do we assess the rule of law? I think we've retrogressed in the rule of law since January 7th. A few areas. If I look at what has been done to the judiciary, that a lot of fear has been instilled into the judiciary by the NDC, by the pre-advertised and calculated exercise to remove the Chief Justice. They can bake it, they can fry it, they can cook it. Even the staunchest of NDC supported that they had pre-advertised that they were going to remove the Chief Justice in many ways, and they ended up doing it. And what it has done is that you are now left with judges who are using Idi Amin and George Orwell as the basis for judicial pronouncements. Associated with that, if you look at what is happening when it comes to the rights of even accused or suspected persons, there's been a major shift. We've now moved to a system where suspected criminals don't have their day in court first. You have state officials hold press conferences and, for all intents and purposes, prejudice the nation's mind and the minds of the courts about them before they are even taken to court.
20 seconds.
It has never happened in our history, and now it is happening, and it is both unconstitutional and unethical, and undermining the presumption of innocence, which is a major part of our jurisprudence. So though you didn't introduce it, I would like to say that when it comes to the rule of law, we have seen a major retrogression. And it will be important that the voices of conscience challenge the government on it so that the government does the appropriate thing when it comes to ensuring that the Constitution is respected in letter and in spirit.
Thank you, Kojo. Last 4 minutes are for you, Felix, to respond to all of these contributions.
So let me respond to the last claim that my name is Kojo made. You see, that claim that somehow, merely because the Attorney General of the land apprises the people of Ghana of decisions he has made in respect of prosecutions, then the rule of law has declined. Kojo, even in the most advanced liberal democracies, who have a much stronger rule of law framework, prosecutors are known to publicly indicate the basis upon which they are making prosecutorial decisions. So unless you have an aversion towards transparency and accountability and the fight against corruption, I do not see how, if the Attorney General says that I have investigated Kojo Yankson for allegedly stealing an iPhone, and based on my investigations, I have gathered sufficient evidence to prosecute him starting Monday, that should be a problem. Nobody who is an adherent to the principle of transparency and accountability and the need to root out corruption will have a problem with this. So let us move away from this exaggerated claim that merely because an Attorney General levels allegations against people and takes them to court, then those people have been condemned. Judges are known to base judgments on the facts of the case. It is not the first time in Ghana's history that persons accused of corruption or wrongdoing have had the details of their cases discussed. The MPP composed songs and sang it for many years about Woyome. Why? Woyome, was he not human? Kojo, I recall that even in your studio, sometimes on your program, that song was sung
2 minutes
by the MPP. Every single, for a period of about 2 to 3 years, Woyome was the subject of radio and TV discussions. So why are they saying that when it comes to the MPP, allegations against them cannot be discussed? And Kojo, you do know, you have been in the media for quite some time, that it's not the first time that allegations against individuals are being discussed. It didn't start today, it will not end tomorrow. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. The Attorney General does not convict anybody. The Attorney General has to go to court to establish or prove beyond reasonable doubt that the persons he's prosecuting are guilty before a court sentences them to any form of punishment that he deems necessary. So the claims about deterioration in the rule of law are completely exaggerated, and the facts do not bear that out. Number two, nobody advertised the removal of the Chief Justice. Nobody can say that they believe in the rule of law and at the same time espouse a sacred cow mentality, which says that because of the sensitivity of a particular person's position, because they occupy an exalted position, if wrongdoing is established against them, they should not be dealt with. Kojo Oponkroma served in the Akufo-Addo administration. They removed the electoral commissioner and her 2 deputies on the basis of a petition brought under Article 146. They cannot turn around and say that if the same Article 146 is applied against the Chief Justice, where nobody can fault the process, till date, nobody has been able to raise one instance of infraction on the part of the president or anybody who took part in that process.
1 minute.
Regarding removal of the Chief Justice. Again, that one too must be stepped down. It is exaggerated, it is baseless, and must be dismissed. The third point I wish to make is that if anybody says that there has been no improvement in the fight against galamsey, that also is not being fair to the fact. Kojo, if you had a situation where at the beginning of this year, 9 forest reserves were under the control of non-state actors, armed bandits, and today that is not the case, you cannot say that it's not a improvement. Of course, there are very, very worrying problems regarding the stability level of our waters and river bodies because of the activities of galamseys. But even then, a sustained campaign has been waged in the form of NIMOS. In fact, over the Christmas holidays, NIMOS was still engaged in operations to flash out galamseys. It is an ongoing process. As I speak to you, the infamous LI 2462, which Kojo Oponkomen's government passed into law, has been repealed. There are hundreds, thousands of people who have been apprehended for engaging in galamsey. Strict controls have been put in place regarding the importation of excavating equipment. So it is an ongoing process. Galamsey is a pervasive problem which has existed for more than a decade and a half, getting to 2 decades. I don't think that anybody expects that in a year a government will be able to completely eliminate it. But we are on course to doing so.
Right.
And over time, you will see the outcome. Finally, on the issue of energy, and let me also debunk this persistent attempt to link the successes being sought by Gold Board to illegal mining. Small-scale mining is a lawful activity, Kojo. So when a state institution like the Gold Board purchases gold from small-scale miners who have been licensed by the state to engage in mining, it's perfectly legal. Need direct evidence of the purchase of galamsey gold. Nobody has done that. What we get is speculation and conjecture, which is not backed by any credible evidence. Let me repeat again, Kojo, that if a government or a state agency buys gold from a small-scale miner who has been licensed by the same state, it cannot be wrong, and it cannot be pinned down to Galamsey, even though effort must be made to wipe out Galamsey it poses to us. And then finally, on the issue of Kojo, we've had a systemic problem which has existed for decades. The problem is that it has cost us as a state far more to produce electricity than we have earned selling it. That is a fundamental problem of the energy sector. So as I speak to you, there's a problem where we call something energy sector financing shortfall. Last year, I beg your pardon, this year, the finance minister had to pay 27 billion Ghana cedis to the energy ministry to make up for shortfalls in financing the energy sector. Next year, he has budgeted another 15 billion Ghana cedis. Now, until we eliminate that phenomenon, where it costs us more to produce electricity than we earn selling it, that problem will persist. And that is why government is taking steps to ensure that collection at ECG improves, that they respect the principles of financial discipline. Because last year, ECG budgeted to spend close to, I think, 800 million Ghana cedis in procurement. When the year went to an end, we found that they had done close to 7 billion Ghana cedis. They had bought cables and other items that they do not need for the next 15 years because they simply wanted to engage in procurement. That has been brought under control through strict commitment controls. And as I speak to you, the cash waterfall mechanism is working well, and Bembuache alluded to that. So every player in the sector, in the value chain, is getting something. That is how come we've been able to pay substantial amounts to the IPPs. And in recent times, they have not issued the threats that they used to issue in the recent past about shutting down their plants and causing power outages and what have you. But there is a comprehensive program in place to ramp up energy production in a way that is cheaper, more cost effective, which will then translate into the cheaper electricity for the Ghanaian public. Finally, let me indicate that yes, it is true that PLC has advertised electricity tariff adjustments starting from tomorrow. But again, it was Kojo upon Nkrumah's government that agreed to those adjustments. You know, the IMF review that was carried out when they got the final tranche before they left office of around $360 million or so. If you check page 71 of the staff reports, they agreed to a quarterly tariff adjustments and a major tariff adjustment in September, October, which the PLC has done. So this was a fixed position, classified position that the government of Ghana, after having committed itself to, could not pull away from. So one concedes that it may increase the price of electricity. But in the long run, things will be done to ensure that electricity becomes cheaper. And that, more important, the supply becomes reliable and becomes stable, as it has been in the last few months that this government has been in power.
Felix, are you a Manchester United fan? Felix?
Well, I have sympathies for them, but I'm not exactly a fan. But you know, was there. I used to support them. These days, I see their trajectory.
I ask because you and Alex Ferguson have very similar approaches to extra time management. But I want to say a big thank you to you, Felix Kwachu Fusu, Minister for Government Communication, Kojo Opon Nkrumah, ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, and Honourable Member of Parliament for Fosse Ayobi. Felix, of course, is Honourable Member of Parliament for his Abra Asebu Kwamankese. That's the one. Very, very long and nice name. And then, of course, we've also had Professor Godfred Bokbane of the University of Ghana School of Business and Ben Boache of ASEP. We appreciate you all ever so much, and we wish you all a happy New Year.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's show. There's more tomorrow. We have a lot of your messages. We'll read them tomorrow on the show. We'll start the new year with your messages on the President's 2025 performance. My name is Kojo Boateng.
Oh, by the way, we will also share our assessments.
Yes, and a lot of the data. Yeah, we'll share all that tomorrow.
My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the